Happy Wednesday evening, Vikings fans. Thanks for joining us for another Wednesday edition of the Skol Experience. What number, what day or what number
we're on
episode is this?
33.
Running 33 weeks strong, well over half a year into this thing. Yeah, how are we doing tonight, fellas? What's going on?
Doing pretty good, except for all this disrespect towards Justin Jefferson. Of course, we'll get into that, but let me do some shout outs here. What's going on, Gary? You made it, Skol. I'll see you at 7, and there you are. I say he is more in the range of top 13, but expect a big year from. What do we have as the thing? Oh, Kirk Cousins. I say he's more in the range of top 13, but expect a big year from him. So we're going to do at some point in this show, we got another tier list for you guys here that we'll dive into. Top 10 quarterbacks as a group, as a community. We will work on that. Let me keep going here, though. My worthless opinion, Skol brother. What's going on? Julian Marker. I don't think I've seen you in here yet. Welcome in, Julian. Welcome in. Greg, go Vikings. What's going on, Greg? Hashtag Skol. Of course, with Greg on top of it. Again, just like every show, we give away a Justin Jefferson rookie card. All you got to do is hashtag Skol in the comments, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. And you have a chance at the end of the show to win this card. And again, you have to be here at the end of the show to win, just because it's not fair for the rest of the people who sit until the end. We went with that. Brothers, how are we? We're doing good, Greg. We're doing good. What's up, studs? What's up? So, anyways, back to the Justin Jefferson disrespect. We have Keyshawn Johnson, who did a top 5 list of his top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, which Justin Jefferson did not make that list somehow. And also Pat McAfee saying Justin Jefferson's production was only as good as it was because of us leaning so heavily on Dalvin Cook, which any of us Vikings fans know that is not how it worked last season. Maybe in years past you could argue that. Last season, I don't think so. What's your guys' thoughts on all that stuff?
Well, I believe in the video we actually just posted, make sure to go check that out after the live stream is over. I believe I titled those opinions moronic is the word that I used.
Yeah.
Because it is absolutely moronic. So like the Keyshawn Johnson thing, like I like AJ Brown, but putting him on in the top 5 and not having Justin Jefferson, and then your rationale, and Max Kellerman backed it up because Max Kellerman, I don't know if he knows anything, to back that up with that he's a system wide receiver. What? Like that makes no sense. And then Pat McAfee, that
he did it under 2 systems,
right? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's ridiculous. And then for Pat McAfee to come in and say that, and just say something so blind like that. Yeah, like Dalvin Cook, and he's an elite athlete, and he's like, which I mean, Dalvin Cook is an elite athlete. Let's be honest. Like he's a good running back, right? But to say that he was why Justin Jefferson had all the success that he did is ridiculous, especially when Kevin O'Connell, after the season was over, comes out and says he did not run the football enough, which didn't open up the offense enough. Like the head coach of this team, and Pat McAfee, I said it in the video as well, which I shouldn't be spilling all the beans here because I do want you guys to go check that out after this is over. I also said that Pat McAfee is already making a great ESPN employee because he's not really looking into things. He's just taking what the narrative is. And just because McAfee does that sometimes, he'll just start talking about something and he'll say it, and you're just like, no, Pat, that's not right. That's not how it works. And this is one of those moments. So he's already being a great ESPN personality where you just say something blind and you just roll with it. So that's my 2 cents.
Before Dave, give me 1 second here. What's going on, Raymond? Welcome back in, brother. Skol for Life Barber 1975. What's up, fellas? Tapping in. Welcome in, Skol for Life Barber. I don't know if I've seen you in here before. Have I?
We have.
Oh, okay. Yep. My bad. Again, just in case anyone hasn't noticed, we're giving away Justin Jefferson rookie card. Hashtag Skol in the comments for your chance to win that. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. All right, Dave, what do you think? What's your opinion on this whole situation with all this Justin Jefferson disrespect?
It's just the usual narrative, man, about the Minnesota Vikings. And, you know, there's 2 things. There's the people that said that the Vikings were pretenders last year, and you know they're running it back with these old players, and that's why, you know, they lost. And you know that they're not going to get anywhere with these older players. They get rid of the older players, and they say, well, the Vikings are going to be good because they got rid of all their good players. I'm like, these are the same players you said were over the hill and needed to go. And now we did it, and we went younger and faster and got a new coach. And like, it's like they leave out, it's like lying by omission. It's lying by omission. Like they'll say something and leave out the fact that we got Brian Flores now and Ed Donatell sucked and that defensive scheme sucked. So that's just an example of what these guys are doing, that they're lying by omission, that we were like the 23rd or 25th ranked our running game in the league. And we're a team that relied heavily on the run game. And that's why Justin Jefferson got open. We ran all the time. That's why he led the league in receiving. That is just the craziest,
Exactly.
the craziest take you could possibly have. And then, to say that, there's situations where someone can be borderline, oh, he's top 10, but he's not top 5 kind of thing. Justin Jefferson is not one of those situations. You could argue that he's in the top 3, and you could say because these other 2 guys are bigger bodies and can, do this and can do that. They have scored more touchdowns. But you cannot say that Justin Jefferson does not belong in the top 5. There's just pure numbers. The 3 years he's done it.
Right.
This is not an act. It is not an. And I've said this about, Kirk Cousins throwing to Justin Jefferson, and I would say the same thing about Justin Jefferson. It is not an accident he got 1,800 yards. He didn't trip, fall, and get 1,800 yards. This is just pure effing talent, and it came out big time in the Buffalo game. And a couple other games. Yeah, that's how impressive he is, because there was a couple games that he didn't do that great, but he still got 1,800 yards. Right. He did so well in those other games and there was a point where he was on track to get 2,000 yards, and then it kind of fell off the pace.
Well, and that's part of it too. Like in Buffalo, he showed like throw ball to Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson will
get ball.
And that's just how it kind of works. And then also like that game against the Lions where I think he had like 200 yards, didn't he? And it was one of the quietest 200-yard games because our defense played so bad and we lost that no one was talking about the fact that Justin Jefferson just went off for 200 yards in one game.
Yeah, he set our team record.
Right. It's ridiculous. Like all this slander makes no sense. Then Kellerman followed up Keyshawn Johnson saying like I'd probably put him at 4 or 5. Like,
no, I agree with Dave's take. Like, there's no reason why he should be outside the top 3. I think, like, I personally think he should be number 1. Of course, I do, no bias. But to say, like, I don't even think it's bias at all to say he shouldn't be outside of the top 3. I don't like if you want to put Devonta Adams and you want to put Tyreek Hill in front of him. Fair. Jamar Chase, he is not there yet. I mean, Justin Jefferson had more yards receiving than Jamar Chase in his first 2 years. And Casey mentioned this before. Jamar Chase has Joe Burrow, T. Higgins across from him, Tyler Boyd across, like in the slot with them. They have one of the best supporting group of wide receivers for Jamar Chase. So I don't know how you're going to bump him all the way up when, especially last year when Justin Jefferson didn't really have a second person receiving catches until TJ Hawkinson came in the picture. And
he was offensive player of the year.
Offensive player of the year, and I think he was still the only offensive player that received the vote for MVP. And some people still have him as the only offensive player going into this season as a potential MVP candidate.
You mean the only non-quarterback?
The only non-quarterback, yeah. The only non-quarterback. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's messed up. I'm going to go through some of these real quick. What's going on, Dan? What is going on? But we have to give some credit to Kirk. I mean, you do and KOC for running through like the offense through Justin Jefferson and Kirk, I guess. But that brings up another point that Dave brought up earlier is he's played in 2 different systems. And to Pat McAfee's point, other than last season, which Pat McAfee said his first 2 seasons in the NFL, we were a run first offense. And Justin Jefferson was still able to get 1,400 yards as a rookie and still able to get 1,600 yards as a sophomore.
And here's the hypocrisy of it too, because
put on Knowledge TV,
and you can't talk about a receiver without his quarterback. The amount of commentators on ESPN that basically Kirk is vanilla. He's an average quarterback. He's this, he's that. And then to go and say, oh, Justin Jefferson isn't a top 5 receiver. If you're going to say that Kirk Cousins isn't a top 10 quarterback, then you have to say, well, Jesus, look at what Justin Jefferson's doing with like the 13th ranked quarterback in the league. I mean, he's making Kirk Cousins. You got to have to go that route. Like that would just make him more impressive of his quarterback's average, right? So just the fact that they will, not give Justin Jefferson's his due and then say he's doing that with an average quarterback, it's like, which is it? Is Kirk Cousins average or is someone making Justin Jefferson look good and he's not as good as he is?
That's a really good point.
Don't make any sense.
That's a really good point. Because for a fact, I think even Pat McAfee, I think he said something about Kirk before, even though he's more of a Kirk fan because I know he had.
I think he leans that Kirk's a good quarterback. Well, I think most do, but God, they still think,
But I mean, how do a lot of Keyshawn Johnson? I wonder what his opinion is of Kirk Cousins.
I doubt it's very good.
Yeah, me too. I doubt it's very good. And so now he's just like, oh, Justin Jefferson's still not. He had 1,800 yards against a quarterback.
Because I know Max Kellerman doesn't like him.
Yeah, exactly. So
Max
it's like
Keller, I don't like Max. I don't care for Max Keller. I didn't care for him when he was with Stephen A. Smith. I don't care for him now. Like, I don't know. He's a talking head on ESPN, basically.
Right.
Which ESPN has kind of turned into that, where they're firing all their good analysts and they're keeping these guys around because.
Even though I like Pat McAfee, but Skol Mafia, what is going on, dude? Purple Gang, Knowledge TV, Skol brother, welcome in, dude. Let's be honest, national media hates on Jettas because he is a Viking.
We all know CNN of
the best wide receiver in the NFL. Yeah, it's just a Viking thing. It's just like I don't know why they just got to trash on the Vikings. Yeah, because he was never as good as JJ. Yeah, it's jealousy. I'm feeling jealousy. What's going on, Dylan Dodson?
The only time Vikings get any decent publicity is the Good Morning NFL on the NFL Network.
Right.
The only place you could go and get love for the Vikings.
Yeah, because he's literally a Viking fan, right?
Well, he's so it's the girl on there is a Viking fan, but she cracks on Kirk.
Oh, Jamie Erdahl, is that?
Being wrapped at like a video on her cracking on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I remember that.
But what's his name? I don't think he's a Viking fan.
Oh, is it McCourty?
No. A good-looking dude that used to be in
Kyle Brandt. Oh yeah, Kyle Brandt.
Yeah.
He's like Kirk Cousins' biggest fan.
Well, he talks. He talks really positive. Well, both those guys talk. Pretty decent about Kirk, but they've been favorable to the Vikings. That's what I'm saying. It's not even just Kirk. They've just been favorable to the Vikings. So and they'll have Vikings players on. So
a couple things real quick. We got our guest in the lobby here. I'm about to bring him in, and I want to answer this question. So maybe we'll just do that right away. What's going on, Johnny? What's going on?
Oh, man, it's already heated. We're already talking about how the media disrespects the purple and gold, man.
Yep.
Oh, I bet they probably call it purple and yellow too.
Anglers in here. ESPN. So I guess, for the first thing, actually, let's just do this real quick since it's on here. Let's give a quick prediction of JJ's year this year, and then we'll jump back into the JJ disrespect stuff.
I think this is pretty accurate. Like, a lot of people do want to say the 2K, but I think with a full offseason or a full season with TJ Hawkinson, plus hopefully some contributions from Addison, KJ, as well as Jalen Naylor, I think he's going to have fewer yards, but I think he'll get into the end zone more. So I do like that prediction from Gary.
I agree with you, man. I don't think he 1,800 yards again ever. If we expect our offense the way it should be, with where I'm like playing up Jalen Naylor, but Jordan Addison meets his expectations, or even KJ Osborne, but big time. TJ Hawkinson would have to get hurt and not play for him to get 1,800 yards again, I think. But I do like what Casey says. Expect more touchdowns out of him.
Yeah, I feel
because that's been the one thing that's been lacking from his career so far. He doesn't get into the end zone.
He's been stopped short so many times. It's crazy.
Oh, I know he has.
Right. Yeah. Somebody. There's a thing. Have you seen the thing on Twitter where there's a group of Packers fans saying? How do they phrase it? Christian Watson has a higher ceiling than Justin Jefferson.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah,
That's
that was
crazy.
one of the arguments is like the touchdown rate or something stupid like that. But no, I think that's pretty realistic, to be honest. I hope I predicted like 10-41 or something for Addison, just because that was the thing that was going around too. And like, yeah, you're right.
Someone on our show last night said over under 800, and I was like, you know what, that's a good one, honestly, for Addison.
I thought he'd be very similar to his last season at USC,
which was a little over 800 yards. And he had 1,500 yards the year before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
the reason being is because the oxygen in the room is being sucked out of it with TJ and Justin, and the fact that he's got such a late start. Not late. I mean, but still, in years past, if a player wasn't playing in OTAs as a rookie, he's probably not seeing the field much in preseason, or he's probably behind. He's not getting first team reps.
Yeah,
that's been in years past. Now where Kevin O'Connell has put himself in a tight spot is being on video saying he's a day one starter during the draft. And I've been meaning to do a video about that, of putting that high expectations on a player that's not seen an NFL field yet, how that may bite us in the ass, because I don't want to hold back KJ Osborne. I don't want to hold back Jalen Nailor, because I think Jalen Nailor, I was going to be fine with Jalen Nailor being competing at number 2 and going after like a big time defensive player in the first round. I was all for that. But that didn't happen, and I was happy we got Addison. I just, I want him to fit in, and so far we haven't seen him yet, right? We've seen that rookie camp, and he looked good.
He looked good, right?
Yeah, he looked good, so we got optimism there. But hey, how many times have we seen players be injured and not get to see the field?
Yeah, and like you said, luckily he's coming through training camp, but without that time in mini camp, going into training camp, even he'll probably get less reps than KJ. And then honestly, at this point, they're going to give Nailor a real chance, I'm assuming, because of how he played just mini camp, just OTAs, all that stuff. But he still looks so good that I think he earned himself some early.
My hope is that they put it's an open competition, and because I don't want 4 years of not knowing what Adam Thielen is going to be like. I don't want I don't want that again.
Yeah,
we wasted prime years of Adam Thielen.
Right. And I 100% agree with all of you guys. I'd probably say around 1,600. I want to see at least 10 touchdowns. But again, with Addison coming in and the ball should be able to go around a little bit more, it's hard to see that Justin Jefferson's he shouldn't be like a one-man show like he was kind of earlier in the season. Let me shout out some people here. Mateo, what's up, dude? Keyshawn is still mad because he was overrated and was mad in his prime that Randy Moss was better than him. Keyshawn salty. The Vikings have had 3 wide receivers better than him 7 days a week, twice on Sundays.
He was mad that a receiver for the Jets, that short white guy, was better than him. He called him a flashlight, and he was the sun, but he was being outplayed by his teammate in the Jets.
Yeah, dude, he's jealous because and then Chris Carter came out and he was like, Keyshawn, you're insane. You're insane. Dave, that's a fact. The show on NFL Network, they love the Vikings and Kirk. What's up, all?
Yeah, they're big fans of
So what are people saying about Justin Jefferson? Keyshawn Johnson didn't put him in his top 5 wide receivers. And Pat McAfee said that Delvin Cook was the reason for Justin Jefferson's production last season, which is wild. Too evil to hope Kirk Cousins is top 10 quarterback in the WNBA. We're going to see,
because he used to say 33rd best QB in the WNBA.
Hey, Too evil's coming along a little bit on Kirky boy, huh? Dylan laughing.
Even up, man. He's turning the corner.
It's way too many weapons. He's not getting 2K, but 15 touchdowns. I can see that. Yeah, 15 touchdowns would be I feel like Justin Jefferson's got to be like, all right, I got to if there's one thing about him, it's people will say the touchdown thing.
I want him to be, that would be nice. It's Randy's touchdown mark. I don't mind Justin Jefferson passing up Randy Moss. I don't mind it. It's a new age, whatever. So, and he's already done it in so many other categories. Might as well do the touchdown record too.
You know, Angler may
What up,
be
Yoki?
Angler may be a Packer fan, but he's
sorry.
but he's smart. He's top 1 or 2 in the league, and the Justin Jefferson hate like that is crazy. So at least you got, and like at least that's a nice, respectful, smart comment from a Packer fan. So that's always nice. That's always nice to see.
Angler is the smartest Packer fan we know.
Yeah,
But he's only 14.
KJ is good for at least 700 yards, and Addison, whatever he gives us extras, Kirk can spread it around. My money is still on. I'm putting my money on Addison still over KJ, but either way, I think. I don't know if KJ ends up taking the second wide receiver spot. I don't know if I'm predicting 700 out of him.
Yeah.
Maybe because if he takes that spot, I feel like it's because he has a massive chip on his shoulder.
Has KJ got 700? He got 700 last year. Yeah.
Did he?
No,
Did he?
I mean
he had a couple.
Oh, then maybe
he was third receiver, but
yeah. What's going on, Skol TY? What's going on?
I think it's probably a good
Did he
sign.
have that much last year? What's up, Johnny?
I can't remember. I think he was in that area. I feel like it was like 5.
it was close. It was
had
at least,
machines
it was,
and
at least, it was
might
over
be right.
600.
1305. That's his NFL career. 650. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like a third of that came from like 2 games.
Yeah, 2 games. He did have a really nice 2-game stretch. Yeah, the last
but
2
it's probably a
seasons.
good sign.
Yeah, he could do that, I guess.
If Jefferson's in like the 14 to 1600 yard range, that's probably a good sign for the offense overall.
Yeah,
because
I would say anything over 1400, I think the offense probably is ticking. If it's like if it's back up at 1800, we're back like we were last year, I think. Unless oh my god, we're like just killing it all the way around, but we really see that with our offensive line. I don't know.
Can y'all rank Jair Alexander with a little bias as possible? 6 tops.
I mean, he is
top
pretty good.
70.
I know. I mean,
top 70 maybe.
I mean, okay. Last year he didn't shut down Justin Jefferson, right? He had help. We all know that. But honestly, if you're the Packers, and this is one thing I hated that excuse from Vikings fans, like, oh, he had help up top. Of course he did. Like, I get it. He talks a lot of smack. You'd love to see him be able to go one-on-one with Justin Jefferson, but a lot of people just can't do it. So the fact that the Packers, from a perspective of having a shot at the playoffs at that time, the perspective of doing what you can to stop Justin Jefferson is 100% fair. I mean, honestly, if you put Alexander one-on-one, you're just setting yourself up for something bad to happen, right? Jair Alexander is a really good cornerback, and he's paid like it. So
he's top 5. He's a top 5 cornerback. I ain't gonna pick a specific number.
I did before the season. I had him as a top 10 defender in the league.
But we're Vikings fans, so every we got it. We got to talk smack. We just have to do it. We can't let him get by with, doing the gritty on Justin Jefferson, even though he had safety help above him. But again, like I said, smart.
I mean, if I was a single dude and getting married, I want to have him do my best man speech. I mean, I don't know if I could understand him, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Predict receiving yards for running back group, receiver group, and tight end group. Man, I don't know. Running back group,
probably not as much as I don't think it's gonna be much.
500,
less.
Well,
because we didn't even use Delvin Cook as a receiver, and he can do it.
Tight end, I would probably say
if Ty Chandler impresses like early on, then maybe. But
yeah.
What's it? I didn't see it.
Predicting receiving yards for running back group, receiver group, and tight end. Tight end, I'd probably say around like 1,200, mostly from Hawkinson. But with Oliver in there, it could even be more than that. It's hard. Man, there's gonna be a lot of passing this season.
I could see Oliver getting over 300 yards.
Yeah, I could see it too. And then Hawkinson.
So then that probably leaves another what? 2,800 to 3,000 for the
Kirk
receiver.
Cousins is definitely.
Well, then we're saying Kirk Cousins is going to go 4,200 yards. And that's a little bit much.
So there's potential here. I mean, Kirk Cousins in a last year of a contract set the Washington Redskins record of 49.50.
And we're canceling.
And he is nowhere near the weapons we
16 games.
In 16 games. There is potential here. there's a lot of potential here, and this is the first time with two
100 for
back-to-back
him.
seasons with the same
Good
offense.
call,
Yeah.
Greg.
So
Yeah, 100 for him. Yeah, I could see it.
yeah, 100
Yeah,
total.
There
Is
was
100 total yards.
there was talk in
Receiving?
minicamp that they were moving him all over the offense during minicamp. So you never know. I say at least 100. I mean,
Going for 5K,
honestly,
that'd be sick.
That's the litmus test. It's 100 total yards, right?
5,000K.
Number
100
3
no
DB,
for
sausage or
receiving
can. That's fair.
yards.
That's
Oh,
fair.
receiving. It's possible. Yeah.
Kirk going
He would
for
need
5,000.
like at least 12 catches though.
Dude, Kirk has to go for 5,000. That's the only thing that makes any sense. With our math, we're getting close to 5,000 here.
Well, he was 50 off in 16 games, so it's not. It wouldn't be unheard
That
of.
crazy.
Hey, we got 20. We got 23. We got 23 people
see
in the room right now. Check the ticker down below. Hashtag Skol in the comment section. Got a chance to win another Justin Jefferson rookie card as we do on all of our live streams. So make sure to hit that in there. On our end, we have 16 viewers right now and only 5 likes. So we got to bump those numbers up. Go on Dave's channel, like it as well. And as Jamie always says, you got to be present to win the rookie card. So there we go.
Yep, at the end. So yeah, hashtag Skol, like the video, subscribe to the channels.
Yeah,
Ham will
make
be
sure
Offensive Player
both
of the
of
Year.
our channels, GG Sports Talk or GG Sports Podcast and Minnesota Sports Talk.
And everything
Also
is
down
in
in
the
the ticker below,
description
in the comment section description. Yeah.
And apparently Bite Size Sports.
Hashtag Skol. There we go.
Let's see,
Yeah,
sports.
Bite Size Sports too. Bite Size Sports. Is that your YouTube page, John?
Yes. Yep.
So go to Bite Size Sports and definitely go subscribe to that channel right now as well.
You want more Johnny NFL?
Yeah, we got football, basketball, some fantasy shows,
Hey, let's go.
other crap.
Let's go.
But anyway, the reason we're all here, we got to talk about Justin Jefferson. The man throwing him the ball is Kirk Cousins. Now, a lot of opinions on where Kirk Cousins ranks. Some people say 33 in the WNBA. Some may say top 5. Some
He
say
says
top
10
10.
now.
Top
Give
10.
him that. Give him 10.
Yeah,
10
go ahead.
for
We'll
the
give him
WNBA.
Many of them say like 15-ish, maybe a little bit above. But we're probably not gonna go all 32. We don't have enough time for that. But we are gonna do a little top 10 NFL quarterback ranking here. We gotten big at a tier list as of late, so we're just doing these in any chance we can get because they are a lot of fun. So are we starting? Well 10
done,
to 1,
by the
or are we
way,
gonna go
Jamie.
1 to 10?
Let's go 1 to 10.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
I like it. Number 1.
1 to 10.
Now, got a
Very easy.
question. What are the parameters here? Usually when I'm doing like when I did it prior to the previous season, I'd said who is going to be the best of this year. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the way I felt about it. Like, who is going to be the best this year?
Best going into the season. Which I guess is pretty much saying like who you think is going to be the best this year.
Because, and my point always
At
was
32,
like,
that's where Jordan Love is.
yeah, I think I did a Twitter poll and I said who is better this year, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, or Kirk Cousins, and obviously overwhelmingly Kirk Cousins had the better year of those four players. But are you going to rank Aaron Rodgers above Kirk Cousins? That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I think all of it, probably weighs into it. Like, hey, who's been consistent, shit like that,
Yeah.
But I heavily weight on what I think the player is going to do this year.
This year, yeah, I say, look at it like that. He hasn't played a full game.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. We'll see this year. We'll see what he does. Number 1, though, I think it's pretty much consensus across the board. Patty Mahomes has to go in there.
I gotta go Patty Mahomes.
He is so good. Like it's hard to deny it.
Any of you disregard that?
I don't know. Justin Fields is. I'm itching to put him there. No kidding.
Justin Fields is hot on his tails. I'll tell you that right now.
So number 1.
Yeah, I think we can all agree on Pat Mahomes.
Kirk beat Aaron all time. No, I say go into this season because otherwise, I mean,
this is not an top 10 all time list. Otherwise, this
No, I like the frame of like
top 10 all time list.
Yeah, like all other things being equal on the rest of the roster, who would you want as your quarterback?
Like right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
Yep.
And you got to go with Mahomes, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes
I'm
is far and
assuming
away.
everyone in the
I think
chat,
number
you
2
guys
is a
agree?
lock too. I mean,
Number 2. See, I think there could be.
I think we're gonna have some
interesting.
disagreements at number 2. I think we're gonna have some
I
disagreements.
think there's gonna be some disagreements. So
We might.
for number 1, community, we're good on Mahomes. I'm just gonna put him in there.
Patty
I feel
Mahomes. Yep,
confident.
Patty Mahomes.
and I love community input.
Yeah, I mean it's Patrick Mahomes. And
Don't
Dave,
embarrass yourselves in the chat.
Dave at number 2, if
Yeah.
you're gonna say Josh Allen at number 2, I would disagree.
I'm
So-
not saying Josh Allen.
Who are you saying?
There's
I
a
know
guy
what
over
Casey
there in
wants.
Cincinnati that's
Okay,
pretty
good.
damn
Casey's
good.
gonna
Me and
say-
you are on the same page, and I like it. I like it.
Man,
Josh Allen he has had a downswing in his career.
We got some too. We
this
got
year.
Mahomes for 1, I'm assuming. 2 for Burrow. You know, I know there's some people when you look at these lists, some people have Jalen Hurts there. Even some people have Josh Allen. Some people have
just did. I would agree. I think
ones.
that's a good top 4.
I would. I gotta agree with Burrow at number 2 though.
Yeah, Johnny, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I like Burrow there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, everybody. Joe Burrow has played behind a
Everybody's
shit
got
offensive
Burrow in
line,
here.
had a knee injury his rookie season, and all he did is made a Super Bowl and made it to the AFC Championship game. He started out 1-3 last year. Yes, the guy's got phenomenal weapons on that team, but it does. I mean, you could have the best weapons in the world. If you're not a good quarterback, you're not a good quarterback. So, yeah, and
I love the
Joe
production
Burrow,
value.
Joe Burrow is how you do confidence right. Because I know like a lot of people with like they thought Will Levis was too arrogant. Joe Burrow just has that swagger about him. You know, like there's just something you look at that guy and you're like, this guy just gets it. Like, he gets how to lead and he gets what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. So
Yeah,
Joe Burrow,
and he has like the most natural swag of any quarterback I've ever seen, even over
one
Joe
of my
Namath.
friends. One of my friends thought he had a punchable face, which I can kind of see. He does look like one of those, maybe like a spoiled rich kid, but nah. I love me some Joey B.
Anybody wearing Randy Moss jersey.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I'm proud of it. I'm pretty
There we
happy.
go.
I know.
So I mean, number 3. Then are we feeling?
So number 3.
Are we feeling Jalen Hurts? I would go. But Jalen
might have
Hurts
some
has such a
disagreements
small
here.
sample size. He has one really good season.
Yeah.
But
I put Allen over
I'm-
Hurts in my opinion.
I'm not.
I
Not-
just,
go
not right
Josh Allen
now.
I think Josh Allen is one of those guys that gets a lot of hype, but what's he done? Right, exactly. A lot of silence.
Yeah. He's done a
So-
lot. He's done a lot, but he hasn't made it to a Super Bowl or anything like that, like
So-
Jalen Hurts just did. But
He had a really bad playoff. Like he didn't play well.
And he wasn't, I mean, I get it. He probably wasn't fully healthy, which I understand. And
True.
I'm not,
I mean,
like,
you could
would
say that.
would
Yeah,
I
you could
take-
say
Would
that.
I take Josh Allen on the Vikings? Oh, absolutely. The guy's got
Yeah,
a
he's
rocket of an
young.
arm. He's a fantastic runner. But I just don't know, man. And
what do you think,
know.
John?
Somebody I think will be comfortably in this conversation at 3 after this season is Justin Herbert. And I think he's really close right now. He has had Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator from his last year, was really holding him back. He keeps all his best players around him keep getting hurt. His left tackle, his top 2 wide receivers last year. So I think he's kind of fallen out of the the public consciousness a little bit. And I think this year, because he's got Kellen Moore coming over to call the shots on offense from Dallas. And they drafted Quentin Johnston. You got to imagine he'll have a little bit better injury luck around him. I think if you give him, the situation of any of these other guys that we're talking about, like at this spot, I think he's doing very similar things. So I feel like he could have a really good year and kind of get right into this conversation. But there's probably, I'd probably go Hurts and Allen over him still.
I agree with that. And I like Herbert a lot too, because I think Dave, you're not a huge Herbert guy, right?
Well, I know he's talented. I'm just saying the argument over someone is such a stats pusher, no wins behind it. He hasn't done anything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and then you got Justin Herbert, who hasn't done anything. Finally gets to the playoffs, blows how big a lead?
27.
Yeah. So I mean, that's and then last year, a down year for him. He had 25 TDs compared to 38 the year before through 10 picks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying he's out of the top. He's not out of the top 10, obviously. I just don't. And every time I've seen him play, he hasn't played well. Like we beat him, when we played him, and he didn't play well that game.
I agree with
but I still think physical tools. I would take this guy in it, no problem.
Dude, I mean, I still remember
big guy, big arm, and he can move. Like,
dude, his game against Oakland Raiders, not last season, but the season before, was the last game of the season. It was probably like one of the best quarterback performances I've ever seen. And that was his second year, where he literally put the team on his back like 4 times
brought him into a tie situation, but his coach wouldn't let him have it to get into the playoffs because Brandon's. That's what I want to see. I want to see him with not Brandon Staley as his head coach because Brandon Staley sucks.
Yeah, I think and probably coaching is holding them back, and I think and that's what's holding Josh Allen back right now is because he lost Brian Daboll.
Yeah, that could be a good point.
And that's why I have number 3.
I did.
That was me picking Hurts number 3. That was my lead.
Yeah. I did a community poll as well, and it was 78% Hurts to 22% Allen. So Jalen Hurts
come a long way, Jalen.
He came a really long. Kind of makes you a little pissed off. You know what I'm saying? 2nd round pick. They already had Carson Wentz, all that stuff, and then now he's the number 3 quarterback in the NFL, according to our list here. So,
absolutely.
Fields is unproven. I'd have him slightly out of top 10. I definitely would take him. I don't even know if I put him in top 20, to be honest. Yeah. Hurts, Allen, then I'm sorry, but Rodgers over Herbert. So we're at 4 right now. So I would say
right there, I think,
legacy pick, yeah.
Number 4, you guys agree with Josh Allen at number 4?
I think that's fair.
I think the chat. I think the chat agreed with that. So we'll put him at number 4. Where is he?
And I'm heavily weighing on his talent. I don't think he had a top 4. I'm heavily weighing on his talent.
Josh, in the beginning of the year, he was the best quarterback probably in the first half of the season.
He was still throwing a lot of picks in the red zone.
He's the Madden cover boy. He can't be outside the top 5.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
The offense he provides on the ground too is.
Yeah, I mean he's a dual threat until he loses that part of his game.
Right.
He's up
which
here.
I mean he's a physical runner, which obviously is usually not very good for quarterbacks. He's also really big though too. What's going on, AJ? What is going on? So number 5, we were already talking Justin Herbert. There's people in the chat that said Rodgers over Herbert. Other potential, some people would put Lawrence up there already. I don't know if I definitely would put him up against Justin
Lawrence
for sure.
I mean, I love Lawrence, maybe more than even certain members of his own fan base. But I don't know if he's necessarily going to be top 5 or 6 for me yet.
We got unpopular opinion. I would take T-Law over Herbert, actually. Herbert over A-Rod. If you want to put Aaron over Jackson at 5, cool, but Jackson has the MVP. So that's another one is Lamar Jackson on that list. I know how some people feel about him in here.
Well,
I 100% think Lamar Jackson's still a top 10 quarterback for sure.
Yeah. I think
is he 5th best? What has he done the last 2 years?
Not the 5th best.
Right.
But I gotta go. I'd personally say Justin Herbert.
At number 5?
At number 5. I'm gonna post a little community poll in here.
Yeah, let's toss it out to the community. See, and like another quarterback that I just Dan, we'll see his comment pop up here in a second. Like another quarterback that I think gets way overhyped is Dak Prescott. I do not think Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback. I don't understand why so many people want him. Like I'd take him over Kirk Cousins. I would not.
I actually don't see too many people taking him. Even the biggest detractors of Kirk, I see them like Justin even would take Kirk Cousins.
Rodgers number 5 over Herbert. Oh yeah, Angler, you're a Packer fan. People want to talk about Herbert having hurt weapons. Well, Lamar has never had a wide receiver.
That is also something I do got. As much as I don't, and it's not that I don't think Lamar is a good quarterback. I just wouldn't like when it came to the conversation of Lamar versus Kirk, I wouldn't pay Lamar Jackson all that money to have him come in here, and I wouldn't pay him 40. What's he getting? Like 40 some million a year? Is that what he ended up getting?
52.
Was it 52 a year? Like I wouldn't pay him just that much money just because he gets hurt too much. But yeah, he's never had like seeing what he could do with like if we did do it, and I mentioned it, like I would be excited to see what he could do in an offense with Justin Jefferson. Like I think that'd be fantastic. But yeah, I don't know.
So
I've compared it to driving a super fancy sports car in Minnesota. Like you barely get to use it, and when you do, sometimes you hit a pothole and it's out of commission for 3 weeks.
He was 7-5 and 8-4 the last 2 years, and a combined probably 2,800 yards and 2,200 yards because he only played in 12 games each.
We got a 50-50
which is
split.
solid for 12 games.
We got a 50-50 split on that poll.
We do?
It's looking like it.
For what?
No, I have
Herbert?
on my end. It says 50% Herbert, 38% Rodgers.
Oh, you
and
put 3
12%
names in there.
Eli.
Okay, I see what you did.
Yep, I put 3. So we're gonna
Well,
go with
Herbert's-
Herbert as our number 5.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, the physical attributes are there. I think this season
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I just have never seen him.
Yeah.
Like my thing is, if they keep, because are they going to get rid of Keenan Allen at this point, or is he going to stick around?
I mean, he's still there right now.
Because if they keep him, having him, Mike Williams, and Quentin Johnson, like that's solid. That's a solid 3. That's a solid 3-man rotation.
And that's the thing. Like usually when we talk about these quarterbacks that don't have playoff, even though he literally lost to the Jaguars, but don't have like playoff success for some reason. I don't know. When I watch Justin Herbert, I feel like it just feels like it's not his fault. And I'll blame stuff on Kirk Cousins stuff all the time, but there's something about Justin Herbert where you can just see his talent. And every time I watch him, I just feel like it just seems like it's everybody around him to me and the play calling and all that stuff.
I'm going to drop a bomb here. After the top 4 picks, out of all the people, including Herbert, after that, which of those players had a better?
Oh, I think we lost.
Had a what?
There he is.
Oh man, you almost ruined the stream with whatever you were about to say.
Yeah.
What?
You cut out.
Did I blank out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna drop a bomb here. 1, 2, 3, 4. After number 4, including Herbert, name me a player that had a better season than Kirk Cousins this past year.
Oh, here we go. Now we're getting into the spicy stuff because Kirk Cousins could fall in any of these spots.
Yeah.
I'm even including Herbert on there. I'm giving Herbert the benefit of the doubt of sheer physical talent.
I would say
I'm willing to recognize Herbert's got the sheer physical talent.
Yeah.
I would say 25
I would
touchdowns
probably agree with that because T-Law
Rap
came
was
on really strong. What's going on, Rap?
Out of the 2 guys that probably I had, you could give an argument for Trevor Lawrence because he came on late, and you could have give.
But he's not. But Greg, he's not.
You
wrong.
can give Detroit's quarterback a lean too. He had a pretty good season. You know what I'm saying? And Herbert, those 3 maybe.
Playoff game. That's fair.
Yeah, that is true.
Maybe Seattle's quarterback had comparable years. So I don't know. I'm just throwing out a bomb there.
Did Gino have a better year?
What?
Dylan Dotson asked, did Gino have a better year?
I said I named him. I said Seattle's quarterback. Gino, So I'm thinking you throw in Detroit, Seattle, and Herbert, and Trevor Lawrence possibly he came on late. And then Kirk. Those guys all had pretty decent seasons, but only one of those guys had 13 wins.
Yeah. What do you think, John? What do you think on that?
There are 3 guys left that I would put ahead of Kirk, but I think that's it.
So let's jump to 6.
But I don't want.
Then what are we thinking for 6 then? So I had in the a lot of people were going Trevor Lawrence at this in the community chat. Yeah, we got some Lawrences here.
Yeah, for this year,
I'm willing to put Lamar above Trevor Lawrence. To be fair,
dang.
Because otherwise, I wouldn't have any qualms with that.
Because we got a Lamar Jackson.
I wouldn't mind Lamar, Trevor, or Rodgers at 6 necessarily.
Oh yeah,
I'd take Lawrence over Rodgers going into this year. I'd take Lamar over Rodgers going into this year. But I mean, I don't know. I think that's splitting hairs a little bit. right now.
True.
And it's tough not to weigh the situations they're in, like in my head when I'm thinking about it, because I'm trying to isolate them as players a little bit. But yeah, I think when you consider the age on Rodgers coming off a slightly worse year, it just feels like a huge bounce back year for Lamar.
I don't know if it was a slightly worse year.
Might have been a significantly worse year.
Significantly, yeah.
And Lawrence is on a pretty clear upward trajectory, so it's tough to like pick the point at which Lawrence might kind of surpass Rodgers as Rodgers tails off.
Right.
But
Rodgers does have a lot more weapons with the Jets though this season.
yeah,
I would say, right?
that's kind of the three I'm considering here though.
I put all three of those in the community chat. Let's see what they think about that. Lawrence came on when it mattered.
True.
Yeah, it's
That's
definitely
true.
true. T-Law over Lamar. Aaron is 10. Lamar is hurt too much to be in that spot. Doesn't matter how good you are if you're not available. I mean, that is definitely a fair point.
Like a sports car in Minnesota.
Well, it's only one MVP. Apparently takes people a long way.
Yeah.
That
So
they will
right
ignore.
now-
They'll ignore missing how many games?
Right.
14?
Yeah.
10 games the last 2 years.
Right now we have T-Law at 67%, Rodgers 33%, and
Lamar,
Lamar
Okay.
0%.
Okay. I'm fine. I'm fine with Lawrence at 6. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. What do you guys think? Lawrence at 6?
Yeah, that's not bad.
I do need to see him come in and kind of play where he left off, just because I don't know, he caught heat right at the end, and then obviously looked good in that playoff game, which he was not supposed to win.
What did he do in the second?
5-8.
What did he do in the second playoff game?
Or 3 of the last 4. He was like fine.
I forget. Who did they play?
Game log here.
Was
it Cincinnati?
Mm-hmm.
He had 4 TDs, 4 interceptions
You guys
against
got the chat voting T-Law.
Chargers.
Don't do
So he had
that.
4 TDs and 4 interceptions against the Chargers, and they won that game.
Well, he started out with 4 interceptions, and I think
Yeah.
he came back with the 4 touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah, he got like 4 interceptions in like one
and then
quarter almost.
he threw for 217 yards, 1 TD, and 1 interception against Kansas City.
That's okay. That's in Kansas
That's
City.
why I need
too.
to see. That's
That's
why
fair.
I'm like,
Yeah.
he's still
Quarterback
skeptical
rating,
kind of going into this
quarterback
season.
rating in the playoffs of a 72.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and that's true. He does get
And a
Calvin
41
Ridley
QB.
now,
Ooh, that's
which I do forget about.
and so and they drafted a guy too, right?
I don't think not in the first round. I don't
I
think.
know, but I thought they drafted.
And plus, they had the worst
Christian
record
Kirk.
last season.
I mean, I'm putting Trevor
Kirk.
Lawrence in my top 10, but I'm not crowning him number 6 overall after one good season.
So okay, so at receiver they have Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram at tight end, who had a kind of a
Good
breakout season last year.
Yeah,
that's a pretty solid. Top 4 wide receiver room there. Then Etienne.
I would be. See, for me, I'd feel comfortable putting Lamar over T-Law. I would be cool with I'd probably put Lamar number 6 if it was me. Obviously, as far as just a talent standpoint, and you don't you don't include the injuries and stuff, I'd probably put him 6.
That's fair. I think Doug Peterson, Doug Peterson too in the second year with his team. I think that's gonna help Lawrence out a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So at 7, then are we feeling Lamar at 7?
Lamar or Rodgers?
Yeah. I'd probably lean Lamar, but yeah.
It's hard because I just think Rodgers is gonna have my frozen.
You are, but we can still hear you.
I just think Rodgers is gonna have so many weapons there with what's his face? Garrett Wilson,
And Lazard is there as well.
Lazard, all his guys. Then if Breece Hall comes back, obviously the defense is better. I'm frozen for good.
I guess so.
What's going on, Michael? What's going on? If you don't take injuries, then Kirk won't be in the top 10 because Kyler and Tua would be better than Kirk. If you don't,
Tua.
I don't know, but I wouldn't say that yet.
I do like Kyler Murray. I do like Kyler Murray, but
I wouldn't put him.
I don't know if I'd say he's better than Kirk Cousins.
Not right now.
Here's one of the things with Kirk Cousins. Every year, someone says he's not a top 10 quarterback, but when you go compare his numbers to the rest of the league, he's in the top 10. All the last 3 years, he's in the top 10. And he's made the Pro Bowl. 3 out of 4 years. That's top 6 or top 3 in your division.
Right.
So I mean, people tend to think Kirk Cousins is not a top 10 quarterback, but he is, because he has been top 10 every year for the past 3 years.
Jamie, now he's not here at all.
That was always been my viewpoint of it. If you go look at the stats, and I know, you win MVPs with stats. So hey, there you go. That's all I got to say about that. We're gonna be putting players that had a worse season than Kirk Cousins ahead of him in this.
I think you got Greg here. Is not even he's vocal that he doesn't like Kirk. Even he's thinking Kirk at 7, and and at fair point, puts up numbers, just fails in key moments a lot, which is very fair. Like
and has been successful in key moments.
Kyler is not better than Kirk. I like Kyler Murray. I don't know.
You got to take the whole package with Kyler, man. You got to take the whole package. You can't just say, "Oh, look at that 5-game stretch where he looked amazing," and then holy crap.
Jamie frozen, looking like he's contemplating submarine down to the Titanic. Ooh, is it too soon for that? Is it too soon for that?
I'm contemplating a submarine ride down to the Titanic. I survived that, man. I survived that shit if I did that, for sure. So what are we thinking here? So there's people saying I'm not putting Cousins at 7. No, I ain't going.
I'm just saying that if you're putting someone here, you're putting someone who had a worse season than Kirk Cousins did.
I would be comfortable with Kirk Cousins at 8, if I'm being honest with you.
No, I would put Lamar and I'd put Rodgers ahead.
I would not put Rodgers ahead of Kirk. That's not even just home, and that's not homerism because he's not even on the Packers anymore. I would. I saw the decline in Aaron Rodgers this last year. The arm strength isn't
and what did his offensive-minded, his offensive-minded play caller do at Denver with a future Hall of Fame quarterback? That's where I'm saying I'm not going to ready to christen Rodgers having a great year. Obviously, all time he's been a
absolutely
all time.
I mean, he was the MVP. He had back-to-back MVPs just a couple of years ago. I mean, he's old.
The 2 years before last year.
Tom Brady got robbed that last one, and he had like 3 more touchdowns than Kirk and 100 less yards, and he won the MVP. I'm just saying Tom Brady got robbed. I'm not saying he had a worse year than Kirk. He had a better year than Kirk.
We're going to a terrible camera.
But Tom Brady got robbed. Absolutely robbed that year, I think, personally.
I would I don't know. What are you guys thinking here at 7 then? So
I'm fine with Lamar at 7.
I put Kirk at 8 last year.
What do you think, John?
I like Lamar, Rodgers, Kirk. Because
that's what I like too.
I'm thinking of it as kind of perspective too. So like I'm considering last year, but like kind of what you're saying, Dave. Like Kirk definitely did have a better season than Rodgers last year, but like I don't think it's anywhere near out of the question for him to have a big bounce back year.
I don't disagree with you.
I don't
disagree with you. But Lamar's done it 2 years in a row.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying,
sure.
Like this, we're going on year 3 of what potentially could be another. Him not playing much.
Potentially, but Lamar's he's also like 8 years younger than Kirk, 10 years younger than at least 10 years younger than Aaron Rodgers. Like you're talking about someone that's literally just entering his prime. How old is Lamar? Like 20? What is he? 27?
27?
Yeah. 26?
Yeah, I think he's like 26.
So 26 years old. So I mean, 10 years younger, And he has all the. I mean, you can argue for sure that his passing can only get better with Lamar Jackson. You could also argue that it's his stats statistically after his MVP season it went down, but yeah, he has his injuries and stuff. I don't know, from a talent perspective, if I'm going into the season with a healthy Lamar, which is what they're going to do, I'm going Lamar. I'm taking Lamar over. I'd rather have Lamar Jackson on my team than Kirk Cousins.
I still would not.
Yeah. Well, it's because you don't like running quarterbacks.
But that's fair.
Yeah,
when's the last
fair.
time one of them's done anything?
I mean, pretty much
exactly.
All of them
a lot of
can run
silence
now. All of them can run now, pretty much.
Right, but
he won an MVP and lost first round badly to Tennessee, right?
Well, they got the bye, I believe. So it was second round, I think.
Gary, to answer your question, yes.
Future.
Yeah.
We're looking at it all. We started out saying one thing, and now
we're randomly willy-nilly in it. We're willy-nilly in it here.
It's hard to not do that.
I personally go the route, and that's why I said it up front of what I expect them to do this year.
It's a living, breathing conversation. The parameters are shifting.
Yeah,
we're just talking at this point, but I mean,
hard to port.
But yeah, no, like I get Lamar injury stuff too. I'm trying not to weigh that too heavily.
I'm not weighing
just because, because like right this second he's healthy.
Yeah.
There's precedent to it, obviously, but that's the only reason you have to believe he's going to have another injury this year. I mean, the way the play style is one thing, but we just saw Hurts go a healthy season.
Good point, Casey. Hurts. There's a good example.
So I don't know. It's in a vacuum.
He didn't win the Super Bowl. Like the year before,
he made it to the Super Bowl.
The year before with Joe Burrow, everybody said you can't win a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. And guess what happened? He had a bad offensive line, didn't win the Super Bowl. Dude, Patrick Mahomes in his second Super Bowl, you can't win a Super Bowl with a bad offensive line. He had a bad offensive line. He lost the Super Bowl. It's just the way it works.
Kirk Cousins
there's certain 30, things you can do whatever you want in the league, but you can't win a Super Bowl with that type of thing. And until it happens,
Kirk Cousins is 35 years old and has one playoff win.
What does that have to do with any of this? Like we're talking about running quarterbacks.
I'm talking about who we'd rather have. I would running quarterbacks compared
who can overthrow their receivers 90% of the time. Like he's not a good thrower of the football. We know that. The reason that he can do anything is because you have to watch for him to run the ball.
Lamar, he had almost 4,000 something yards his MVP season, like 20
So we're going back to the MVP season and not looking past that at all.
Yeah, he
did.
He had close to 4,000 yards. He had like 20 something touchdowns and
3,100
in his MVP season.
Is that 2019? Because that's his best year, 3,100.
What's his touchdowns?
36.
36 touchdowns to how many interceptions?
His next best is 26 after that. I mean, it's a huge statistic. Compared to his MVP year, there's a huge statistical drop to all the other years.
And I was even arguing for Lamar at 7. That's the funny part. We got into the conversations. Would you take him? Would you take him on this team?
I just because of
Lamar over Kirk.
Yeah, no,
that's where it started from.
He's never played less than 12 games in a season. Who? The last 2 seasons he only played 12.
Lamar?
Yeah, but if we're thinking he might be, even something like that, like 2019 and 2020. Let me pull this up.
6.9 yard. He had his worst average for the attempt. He had his worst completion percentage last year.
Yeah,
he had 17 passing touchdowns to 7 interceptions. He was.
Again, he only had Mark Andrews. They traded Hollywood.
He didn't even have Hollywood Brown last year.
Yeah, they traded him.
Didn't have a deep threat.
Last year was
throwing to Devin Duvernay.
So they got more weapons this year.
They got
Zay Flowers
and OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr.
And OBJ, you can't until I see him do something. It's hard to say he has a weapon in OBJ.
I think you can say he's at least a solid wide receiver too.
Maybe. And
you have Mark Andrews, who's really good. I personally, in my opinion, I think Lamar Jackson's really good.
I think pretty. I guess we'll let the heavily
So
heavily
far,
favored chat pick the next
chat-
guy.
We're rolling it. Oh, we're rolling it. Kirk, 62% with 8
62%.
votes.
Lamar,
At
25%.
7?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it is.
So they got Kirk at 7.
They got
No,
the
well,
community
actually, yeah.
does 8 votes. 8 votes. Hey, Sarah,
8
what is
votes?
going on? 8 votes. And
8
we got
votes.
Kirk Cousins.
I mean,
Rodgers, he's got 4 MVPs. Hey, even with Sarah in here, I might as well do this right now, even though my camera sucks because my other one stopped working. Justin Jefferson giveaway, hashtag Skol in the comments. Like our channel, subscribe, all that good stuff. Everything is in the description. Go to Bite Size Sports and subscribe to John's channel. So yeah, we're in like a conundrum here because I thought it was like, for a second, I thought like Kirk was way out of this, but now the community has Kirk. Though it is a Vikings podcast at the end of the day.
Yeah, but we know how many people that enter in here don't like Kirk Cousins. So it's
man, you guys feel comfortable putting Kirky at 7?
I was gonna say Kirk
I
at
told
8 or
you
9,
after
but
4, name me a quarterback that had a better season than Kirk Cousins last year. And no one really jumped out and said, hey,
yeah, but from
this guy had a better season. I go off of what I think they're gonna do this season. I had him 8th going into this season. The last season, he ended up 6th. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can have a great year and not be an all-time great. You know what I'm saying? You can have
no.
But hey, I'm not gonna cry over him being on the top 10.
Wait, so Jamie, were you about to say that Dave was going for statistics for Kirk Cousins when you threw how many stats at me about Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, but Lamar Jackson has an MVP,
and you were wrong about him, by the way. And you were wrong about him. You said he almost had 4,000 yards.
Yeah, but I also said he had like 27 touchdowns, and he ended up having 37.
And a year ago, I weighed 20 less pounds. Guess what? Things change.
Yeah, 26. He was 26 years old, has an MVP and as many wins as Kirk Cousins.
He was MVP in 2019. That means he's better this year. No,
Kirk Cousins has never had an MVP. 0 MVPs, 1 playoff win.
But you realize MVP is just as much.
Okay, he's got 1 MVP and 1 playoff win. So he's got 1 MVP and 1 playoff win, right?
And he's only 26.
Okay. What if
he's young and injured all the time?
Yeah, that's important.
Great.
Saying you got an MVP and a playoff win by the age of 26 compared to 35, I feel like that holds some weight.
And then what has he done in the last 3 years?
Well, he still has done pretty good. I mean, he has a winning record, correct?
Yeah.
2020 was all right.
Yeah. He did get injured, which is fair. The injury thing is the real fair. You take the injury things out of here, there's 0 question in my mind. I'd rather have Lamar Jackson.
But you can't. I don't want to watch Tyler because they had to watch Tyler Huntley. Then he got hurt too, and Tyler Huntley was decent because he somehow made it into the Pro Bowl, which that is
that was crazy.
But like, I don't want to watch a no-name backup quarterback play 4 games a year. I'm not in that camp. I know some people are. Some people are fine with watching a backup quarterback play a whole year just so we can win 2 games, which I think is a ridiculous statement. But like, I don't want a quarterback that's going to get hurt a lot, and you're going to have to sit there and watch some backup play and hope you can do fine.
And he has missed.
So you'd rather have a quarterback that can't succeed in playoffs and can't succeed
like Lamar Jackson.
I mean, he's 26 and has just as many wins.
I get it, man. He has the same amount of playoff appearances and wins as Kirk. I get it. He did it at a younger age.
So you think for the rest of Lamar Jackson's career,
Jamie, he's younger and he has the same amount of play. I think they both have the same 1-4 record or whatever.
Years younger.
So you think Lamar is going to get better, right? You're thinking he's in his prime. He's going to get better.
I think from a throwing standpoint, you can definitely have a good argument saying that he could just improve in that area of his game.
And
imagine that throwing is a big part of playing.
And imagine that he also had 30. He has a season 3 years ago, 37 touchdowns to how many interceptions?
That's because nobody knew how to slow him down back then.
Well, if MVPs are the category, let's put Aaron Rodgers here and move on.
And going into this season, I don't know.
I think if you look at just the context of his past
put Aaron Rodgers number 1. He's got 4 MVPs. What are we talking about this? Well, okay.
Who's better? That's
Mahomes got 2 Super Bowls. Let's put him there. Put Aaron Rodgers second because he's got the most MVPs. Because none of these other guys got Super Bowls.
Like it's everything.
If you look
Kirk
at the
Cousins is-
context of his last like four, like from the MVP season on, and you even just like maybe he doesn't reach those highs again. Maybe it's not 36-6 with 1,000 yards on the ground or whatever the hell it was. I think if you see just something of like a progression back to the mean and he stays healthy, like I'd take him all day.
Yeah.
If you want to, use the caveat of like on average he misses 3 games a year, sure. But at the same time, I don't think that's necessarily the way a lot of like teams would think in the context of like looking at this year. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you can't really have that mindset unless he literally is coming off of ACLs and shit like that. I mean, this is just him getting banged up because of the way, more so than like these long lasting big surgeries that he keeps, he's not Greg Oden out there. It's just kind of he gets nicked up, and I don't know. Like again, I have no qualms really with any, but like if it's Aaron, if it's Lamar, if it's Kirk, even. But that's just kind of my Lamar thought process, I guess.
Yeah. And that's what I agree with. And I think Mateo does make a good point too. If Kirk had the wide receivers, Lamar, Kirk's literally had prime Diggs, primes Thielen, then trade Diggs and get the best wide receiver in the league.
And when he threw for 5,000 for almost 5,000 for Washington, name me his receivers.
Sure, I don't remember.
Oh, Pierre Garcon.
That's one of them.
That's all I got.
Prime Pierre Garcon.
I don't even remember. I didn't care about
Pierre Garcon. Yeah, exactly.
Their tight end. What was his name?
Oh,
I forget.
yeah.
Vernon Davis.
Jordan
I think
he's always hurt. Because I mean, at the end of this, we're talking about. I think Kirk Cousins is definitely a top 10 quarterback, but I just would rather have. I think. I'd rather.
I'm not gonna. I'm not again. I wouldn't cry about it with the. This is an exercise, and it's hard, right? So my point is, name me a guy who had a better season than Kirk Cousins after number 4. He's in the top 10. It's just no doubt about it. And every year he like I picked him at number 8. Going into that season, he ended up 6 in yards and 6 in TDs. I'm like, that's pretty good.
It's hard because the community still is 13 or 10 votes. 70% has Kirk Cousins, 20% Lamar, and 10% Rodgers.
I don't think there was a lot of Viking fans there was a lot of loud voices, and people doing YouTube videos on it, but I don't remember having a chat where everybody was like, Lamar, we want to trade for Lamar. We want this.
How about this? Let's go around and you just have to. Who's your number 7? I'm gonna go with Lamar at 7.
I'm gonna go with Lamar at 7 too.
What?
Hey, no, our conversation was would you like him on the Vikings, and that's a no for me. But like,
right,
if the guy could stay, like, if the guy can stay healthy, right? The way if he can just maybe improve at the passing game a little bit, like the fact that he can run so much is just like it's a whole nother element that you do need to watch out for. But you worry about those little nicks and bruises adding up to being something much bigger down the road, especially since like he just needs to learn how to play the game a little smarter.
Yeah. If his scrambles sort of table off more into extending plays to throw downfield, sort of the way Mahomes uses his athleticism, the way Allen uses his athleticism,
and Jalen Hurts this season as well.
Jalen Hurts more this season because he can sling it. I think he can get a little lazy with his mechanics just because he's so damn athletic. He's always just been able to do shit that no one else could even fathom doing on a football field. But I think as he matures a little bit, you have to expect the passing to improve. And yeah, maybe he doesn't have quite the same juice anymore, but he's also still very young. So I could see this being this could be his best season, or at least in the realm
if he stays healthy,
2019. Right? If in the realm of 2019, and I don't want to like project the injury stuff on my thought process on this too much. So like,
same.
Yeah, if he's healthy, I think he's going to be awesome. So
Dave, you cool with 7?
I mean, I'm whatever. I'm cool.
All right, we're going
I
Lamar
didn't say he
7.
wasn't talented. I just said he hasn't had a good year since 2000.
Yeah, he's due.
Yeah, he's due. He's due for a good year.
So by the way,
so.
right around 8, because what? Lamar's 8, Kirk is 8, and A-Rod is now 8 as well. So who are we putting at 8? Which 8 is going at 8? Because there's an 8 that's going to be an 8. I said 8 a lot there, but
Let's just agree with everyone else. Jared Goff.
Yeah, right.
Or
2
Justin
8s.
Fields. Or Daniel
I mean,
Jones.
I've said that I thought
Daniel Jones.
Jared Goff has had as good a season as Kirk. Difference is his wins, man.
I've got a
he
DJ.
led the team to a 1-7 record, and then he turned it around, and I give him a lot of credit for that. But
Yeah,
I give the edge to Kirk over Goff because of the win.
Definitely. All right, so I think at this point, do you think you feel like it's between Rodgers and Kirk at number 8 here?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, Kirk had more yards and touchdowns, but Rodgers
the past 2 years, he had more yards the past 2 years than Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers had
MVP.
Rodgers had the most all-time spiritual awakenings in one season, though.
Yeah, and that
he has the most dark room hours. He has the most dark room hours.
Yeah, that's one you have to put that in your consideration. The dark room hours that's pretty recent.
I mean, the off-season training regimen is just completely next level. So
new team. A offensive coordinator that got fired last year, and sure, he's got some talent around him, but I'm just saying, he had a pretty bad year last year.
I mean, I do think you started to see some of the cracks in his game as well.
Yeah, I do still personally. I would put Aaron Rodgers in front of Kirk Cousins here, but just because, I mean, just 2 years ago, still he went to the NFC Championship, and that means a lot to me because we haven't came close to that with Kirk Cousins.
But he also had much better defenses as well.
Nobody talks about Rodgers' recent playoff duds.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Aaron Rodgers chokes in the NFC Championship. We all know that.
Yeah. San Francisco's kryptonite.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in the zone?
What's up? I don't know. This is actually really tough. I didn't think it would be.
See, you got some people saying like they got the MVP. Some people say he's washed.
Are the Jets better than the Vikings this year, you think?
No.
That is, I think,
not from an offensive standpoint.
Anyways, I would say no.
Even because offensive standpoint, the Jets aren't going to be better than the Vikings.
I don't think so. No, we have so much talent. Defensive,
so we're going to rank Aaron Rodgers above Kirk because.
Well, I just think Aaron Rodgers is
from what he did 2 years ago.
Better. I mean, the Packers had all kinds
coming off a rough year, and they were a running team. You have the best, a 4-time MVP, Super Bowl champion from 2009.
And this is what I was going to say too. The AFC is absolutely loaded with quarterback talent.
Our conference is actually pretty damn weak, but
everything.
But that's the thing with Aaron Rodgers too is, I don't know. He's just. Oh, yeah, he lost Devonta Adams. There's like some dysfunction that definitely was going on there with their offense. Their wide receivers were terrible, where obviously Kirk Cousins still has Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson for most of the year. You had Rodgers' best wide receiver is Lazard.
Throwing leadership ability. How often was it that he was slamming his receivers and saying they won't make the field if they can't catch the ball?
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I think can be an arrogant person.
I
don't even like Aaron Rodgers.
I'm just saying at this point in their career, who's better right now? I don't know.
I feel like it's
I didn't even look at his stats.
There's a big question.
It was a huge drop off
on Aaron Rodgers, I feel like.
Yeah, is it
allowed to be a homer?
Favre Jets year?
No, it's hard to put him at 8. I put him at 8 last year.
Yeah, is it the Favre Jets year or the Favre Vikings year? And I'm gonna go to. I hate Rodgers, but I feel like he's that guy to come in and not MVP, but I feel like he'd come in and have that Brett Favre.
Keep in mind, he's going from Green Bay media to New York media.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers. I feel like he's just gonna get torched by Green Bay media. Or,
Yeah, but
by,
I feel like Aaron
New York
Rodgers.
media.
I feel like he can just brush that shit off.
He's also going
I
Green
don't
Bay
think
psychedelics
so.
to New York psychedelics.
You don't think so? Yeah,
I think Aaron
he
Rodgers is more
he
of a
won
pussy than
MVPs
I
after
think
him and
he's
his
more of a-
family didn't
I
stop
think
talking.
he's more of a pussy than he leads on.
Like he broke up with his girlfriend, had no family that likes him, and he goes out and gets an MVP type of guy. I don't think
Yeah.
New York's he's gonna be worrying about that too much.
Take that, Olivia Munn.
Yeah. Yep. Toss it.
Let's ask Casey. Olivia Munn, pretty nice.
Yeah,
She's 40 now, but
Pretty nice.
that's the single guy, man. That's the single guy.
J-Lo's over 40 and he doesn't look like it.
All right, so we got Greg says Kirk 8, Rodgers 9. This is a Vikings podcast, even though I know a lot of the people in here aren't Kirk fans.
Who's gonna have a better year?
But
who's gonna have a better year, Jamie?
At the end of the day, Kirk Cousins has the best wide receiver in the NFL. I believe he's about to have the best tight end in the NFL. And Addison's going to be a major upgrade at wide receiver too. I'll go with freaking Kirk Cousins at 8.
Oop. I messed up the poll. Don't look at it. I was wrong.
What you put?
I put a never mind. I'll redo it.
Kirk at 8.
Well, I didn't even notice this, but I'm looking at this is odd. Last year would have been if Aaron Rodgers would have thrown in for as many yards as Kirk did last year, that would have been his second best yardage throwing in his career. If Aaron Rodgers threw what Kirk Cousins did.
I mean, Kirk Cousins, that dude gets some yards.
It's interesting.
Well, Rodgers, like the last few years, if you notice, like he threw a lot of touchdowns, but like he would end games and he had like 130 yards. He'd do that multiple times a year.
Yeah,
but then he'd have that one game where he just bombs for like 400. And
it's just odd. You think like he's this big, prolific 5,000 yard guy, like maybe Tom Brady had a couple of those years. You know, Peyton Manning had a couple of those years. But the best year he ever had was 4,600. After that, 4,400, and no years over 43. So he's just been so consistent, and he's thrown a lot of touchdowns.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, we're homering it. Sorry,
that
Sarah.
Is not a homer. That is who's gonna have a boom.
We asked the chat. We got 8 votes again, and Kirk Cousins still lands.
So
Rodgers can go 9. I'm fine with that. Number 10 is where it gets interesting, though.
This is where it gets really interesting. So we're gonna just throw Rodgers at 9.
We can have an argument about 10 here, but we'll throw Aaron Rodgers. I'll say Aaron Rodgers at 9 because he would recover. He does got talent. He's a young 38. So let's go.
39-year-old season, I think. Yeah.
The 39?
Yep, I think 39.
so. Oh, you're dead after 36, so you can't play anymore.
Pretty much.
From what I'm told.
Yeah, pretty much.
So who's our parameters? Let's throw it out here.
Jared Goff, Geno Smith, Dak Prescott,
and maybe
Justin Fields, Matt Stafford.
Well, we're not going to put Matt Stafford in here. I don't think he's going to recover. That was that Super Bowl year is showing me that
some of these guys are obvious, like nose.
So I look at a guy like Daniel Jones, who I think Daniel Jones played really well this last year. I think he's a solid starting quarterback. I don't think he's a $40 million a year quarterback.
No,
I think he's top. I think I would take. That's a good exercise. Daniel Jones. I'd take him over. I'd take him over Stafford right now. I'd take him over the Saints QB, Derek Carr.
Oh, yeah, Derek Carr. Agreed.
I'd take him over Russell Wilson. I was down on Russell Wilson last year. I was right.
That's fair.
I'd take him over the Cardinals. Just because I do not like him at all.
I would put my money on Kyler Murray still, even though he's obviously something's
not going to play this year though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I do like Kyler Murray a lot as well. And honestly, I hope that the Cardinals do as well. And they trade
Daniel Jones to me is like the player. I'm not convinced by him at all. Because I thought he wasn't even that good at all until this past season. I'm like, all right, but next season
I'd have him
it's gonna be
somewhere
someone you're
between
paying
15 to
attention or not.
18. You think?
Okay,
Like,
so I'm
Yeah.
seeing people talking about Stafford right now, like he's won a Super Bowl and then he's the best quarterback. The team is
Yeah.
depleted.
And this is going into
The
next
dude-
season.
The dude's
is going
wife,
into this
the dude's
coming up
wife
season.
doesn't even want him to play anymore because he's getting injured too much with the neck and the head injuries. Like, I don't know. I think he got in a really good situation with really
led
good
the league in
weapons
interceptions.
and an amazing offensive play caller and a solid good defense. I think he got put in a really good spot. I don't think I don't think he's bad. Even like when he was still in Detroit, it was a conversation, Kirk over Stafford. I said Kirk, and I still stand by that. I like Stafford. I just don't think he's here.
Not anymore. And in my opinion, I think right now I'm gotta go with Mateo.
Ever since he
I think I'm
pushed
taking-
that
I'm taking Tua at
photographer
10.
off the
Oh, yeah.
ledge.
Yeah,
didn't he?
that's right.
No, he didn't push her, but
I think I'd probably go Tua at 10. The only thing with Tua though is he has all these concussions and stuff, which
That is
are
true.
like who knows how long his career can even go. But if he comes back completely healthy, if he was to play a whole season next season, I think I'd definitely go with him at 10. Just because
I'm
he
keeping
did look
Deshaun
super
Watson
good.
out of the top 10. But if
I
he
think
was,
Deshaun
Well, like-
Watson has probably the best chance to get back into this top 10, I think.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
he could be
right
top
here,
5.
Skol TY said he has the talent, but it's just
Yeah.
we need to see it. We need to
You
see
see,
a little
last
more.
season when he played last season, obviously he was out for over a year, but he did not look that good.
He had a rough start. Regaining his career. A good off season might improve that, but I cannot say he's going to be better than some of these guys going into the season. I don't even know why we have Russell Wilson on this exercise. No, I'm kidding. But
I think Russell Wilson, I think he's going to have, I'm not going to say top 10, but I
he'll
think he's
rebound
gonna have a better
a
year
little
than
bit. But
last
that was
year.
so bad, man.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't really go and get any worse. It's like our defense, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably
He's the Ed Donatel of quarterbacks last year.
I'd probably agree with Tua at 10. I think.
I'm not taking Deshaun Weinstein over Tua.
I think Geno maybe tailed off a little bit last year and got figured out. Maybe
Jordan Love.
if I'm wrong with that, you guys can correct me.
I think that's accurate.
Dak is a good stretch type of player.
Dak is ass.
Tua's pretty far out of this conversation for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think the Dak hate is pretty ridiculous. It's gotten to be pretty ridiculous. It's like Kirk levels of like, just pretty unfounded. Like, oh, he's not elite, so he's shit. Like
He missed a lot of games last year and still led the league in interceptions. I think he's overrated. I think the hype around him is ridiculous.
I think I would have put.
I think the pendulum swung too far back the other way. So where the zeitgeist is like, oh, Dak sucks. A lot of those were off receivers' hands. He had like 6 or 7 tipped interceptions.
He has the whole choke in playoffs type of thing too.
He's got the choke and playoff things going.
But so does Kirk.
And like, right. But I'd go Dak. I'd go Goff. I'd go. The sample size with Geno is tough, but he looked really good.
Yeah, I'm not him and
I put
these guys in the same area. And
the guy that played the most solid to me, who I think will repeat it, is Jared Goff.
And he's got Ben Johnson coming back at OC. Like that's going to help a lot.
Yeah,
Tua, I think, was just the Mike McDaniel's offense last year was unbelievable. And they would just stretch teams vertically. And Tua was just like, okay, to which side of the field am I throwing the crosser on this play? And they were wide fucking open because they've got 2 guys that run 4 flat and a smart offensive coordinator. I think his success was like I still think he's top 15. I think he's just kind of like one rung below some of these other guys I would have in the conversation at 10. And then also you worry about the concussion stuff.
I don't feel good about. I don't know. Goff. He had went to the Super Bowl once. Other than that, his whole same with Geno Smith. Their careers has been pretty damn underwhelming for sure.
Wait, Jared Goff's career has been underwhelming. You want to talk about past things they've done? He made it to a Super Bowl.
I know. I said that. Other than a Super Bowl.
Oh, so now we want to take certain things in the past out form the argument.
Yeah, but he was so trash.
Yeah.
He was so trash in his other years. It's not
Lamar
like
won an MVP.
it's not like if Kirk Cousins did what Goff did, I'd feel way higher about Kirk Cousins, way higher than Goff, because Goff had so many mediocre seasons to the point where he was just pretty much given to the Lions for
in his first year with his 3 years, 46-88, 46-38, 39-52 with the Rams.
Keep going.
And then he went to Detroit.
He had one bad.
And then he had
one
his first 4 years, 3,800, 46-88, 46-38, 39-52, and then he goes to Detroit, has a pretty mediocre year, and then he has a really good year the next year. Which I would say was the second best year of his career.
So his first year, 29, 7 interceptions, fair. 19, 8 interceptions, 20, 13 interceptions, 22 to 16 interceptions. And
but
I'm going backwards.
And then with Detroit last year, 29 and 7 with a 99 quarterback rating, and he has a career 92.8.
Okay. I'll admit he's did a little bit better than I thought.
It's people. Yeah, I had him. I think I did not have him as low as people did last year. I had him in the top 15. I think going into last year, I just thought he was with Detroit. That's why. But then last year impressed me, man. Last year really impressed me.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys feeling Goff at 10? I definitely over Geno's is the definition of someone who had like a breakout year late.
Is it? I'm looking at like at this level right like now. I'm like, is this repeatable? And I think Goff is repeatable. Fields has got to show me something,
Yeah, I'm not there with Fields yet.
Stafford is gone. Deshaun Watson's got to show me he can come back and play. The last time he played, he won 5 games.
Daniel Jones needs to do it against other defenses than the Vikings. To that,
Russell Wilson has gone the way of,
Daniel Jones, 15 passing touchdowns in his best year of his career.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray is just the I don't know.
He's
talented as hell. Just you worry about the
like
you worry about
teenager.
the
yeah. There's too much going on.
I agree.
The Call of Duty stuff, and
I agree with Johnny on Dak a little bit, or I'm almost there, and then I disagree with him on Tua a little bit. But I just think what's repeatable, and I think Goff's repeatable.
Oops.
I don't think those other. I could see those other guys not having a good as year as Goff did last year. I think Goff can repeat it. So,
and Goff did that too with pretty run-of-the-mill weapons.
Yeah.
I think he's got one. I think he's got a number 2 receiver.
Right.
And then when he lost, I actually started doing better.
I think Amon St. Brown's a number 1. I like him a lot.
I do too.
Well, he's low in number 1. I'd say low in number 1.
But I think he could take that.
I don't think is he top 15? Yeah, he's somewhere maybe top 15, right?
Amon-Ra? I like him. I would. I mean, like the dude's a touchdown machine, which is
I think he's gonna be. I think he's really good. I think he's gonna.
I mean, I really like him. Don't get me wrong.
He just has really good route running and.
But after that, who
wouldn't
was
it be,
it?
I think I saw someone tweet about today. Wouldn't it be funny if Kirk Cousins is one of the guys that gets suspended for gambling? That'd be hilarious.
Yes, and have it on video.
All right, I'm gonna put Tua, Dak, and Goff. Tua, Dak, and Goff. I'm gonna put in a poll real quick. So everybody.
Dude, I was praying to God like Justin Jefferson or Darisaw didn't gamble.
Yeah. Right. Let's go with Tannehill. I don't even put him on here. He would if there was one more spot, it was going to be Tannehill, but I was like, I don't even know. I feel like he's a placeholder right now. I feel like.
I mean, if Fields can come out throwing the ball this year, he could be on this list next year. He's got Lamar type talent, right?
But that's nuts. That, like the whole gambling thing has just like ever since Kelvin Ridley last year, it's really taken off now. I guess it's kind of crazy.
It's the thing to do.
A bunch of NFL players are, but I actually didn't see that. So there might be a list of players coming
You didn't
out.
s- oh yeah, they said there's a handful of players that are going to get year-long suspensions for gambling.
The only one we
my
know is
Jesus Christ.
Isaiah,
Rogers of
yeah,
the Colts.
yep, for the Colts, which we had heard about before
And I hear he
already.
gambled on Colts games.
You think it was 33-0? Do you think he
He
won a
did?
bunch of
Do you
money
think-
at halftime on 33-0?
What?
Yep,
That would be
yeah,
sick.
That's crazy.
yep.
That's just stupid. But I mean,
Yeah.
what does he got to lose?
Well, because like I think the rules are like you can't bet on the NFL, you can't bet on any sports on the team facility or plane or anything like that. You can't do daily fantasy sports, and then there was one more rule as well. Like I can't remember exactly what it was though, but
You probably watch your channel to get advice in the off season for daily
Probably.
fantasy.
he shouldn't.
Yeah, probably.
All right,
He didn't
during
win
the
much.
season.
So we're split. So right now it's split 44% Goff into Dax at 11%. 9
Yeah.
votes. Next vote wins. No, I think it's pretty. So let's go around. We'll say each of our picks, and that will be it. I'm gonna stick with my first gut, which is Tua at 1 or as 10. What is yours?
I'll just go golf.
I'm kind of on the Tua train.
I'd probably go.
Dak.
It's not between
Maybe.
Dak. It's between Goff and Tua right now because those are the two guys in the vote that were top vote
It
getters.
might be.
Oh, well, that's
I'd
what we're
probably go-
doing.
I'd probably go Goff, Dak, too.
Well, we're still split. We're still split in between. Let's see here.
That's rough.
At this point, we're
I
not
feel
sure.
like-
They said the full list is coming out later on this week.
Please, goodness, don't be any Vikings, man.
I know.
Culture's
I
too
don't-
good. There's no
Yeah,
way.
our culture's way too good for any of them to make that mistake.
And like Justin Jefferson wouldn't make the risk because he's already going to get a bunch of money anyway.
Well, why would they risk?
What's the point?
Why would they risk?
He's a guy that just doesn't go out and do anything. He's like a homebody, right? Justin
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I
Jefferson.
hope so.
He'd rather be playing video games at home than going out.
Why would they jeopardize a championship roster? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, let's definitely hope not.
So anyway,
I think my
We're-
money's that the Vikings would never do that.
no. So anyway,
Going to
We're
sign it
at an
to
hour
another-
32, and we started
Hour
this an
32.
hour
we
ago.
still you can't figure out the 10th. Thought this
Yeah,
was gonna be easy, too. And it's still come on, one more vote. There's what? We have 20
could just-
people in here.
Oh,
Jefferson
man.
is
we
a
could
stud.
like we
What's going on,
could
Yoshi?
flip a coin.
We could flip a coin.
I feel
Restart the
Good.
vote again with just those two in it and see if the votes change at all.
Yeah, because
Alright.
isn't it an odd number of votes and Dak has one of them or something?
Yeah, there we go.
That's
There we
a good
go.
point. That's a good point.
Yep.
All right. Who's better? Tua or Goff? And here we go.
Anthony Richardson.
Anthony, is that what we're going with? Anthony Richardson?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
AR-15, baby.
Tiebreaker, AR-15.
So I mean, what we're kind of waiting. What I want to ask is, I mean, it would be interesting, like next year, where would Anthony Richardson land on this list? But like everyone's talking about now,
So-
Caleb Williams being the next big thing. Where
He's
do we
killing
think,
that net.
I wonder where he could land on a list like this after his first season. That'd be interesting to see.
Someone, I forget which quarterback it
Are we
was.
back
They
at a
showed him.
50-50
They showed
split
him
here?
rolling out and hitting a net, and they're like,
Oh, man.
10 votes are
at
at a
9
50-50
votes.
split.
It was at 9 votes towards
All right.
Goff.
There are
and I was
21 of
looking-
you in here. If you haven't voted yet, vote right now, and the next vote wins. We
I was
gotta
literally
get
about to
we
put
gotta
Goff
get this,
in
we gotta
there,
get this train
man.
rolling here again. Either that, or you guys are just doing this for fun.
Yeah.
The torture.
Justin Fields, top 5.
Could put him in
But-
there.
"Look at this. We put Kirk Cousins at number 8, and the chat didn't go crazy calling us stupid."
They did.
They
They
did.
did. Some of
Yeah.
them did.
Retroactively.
I'm not gonna lie. Number 8 feels a little high for me, but it's all good. It's all
Is
good.
it the same old suspects?
I'm not sure. It was a It was a chorus though.
Rig, my guy ain't even on the ball. She
Yeah,
was the one that picked Dak.
Oh, there you go.
Michael, did you vote on like?
Sarah's got
Did you vote in
Dak
the
over,
comments, or are you just saying
Kirk.
Tua? Is this your vote, or did you click Tua in the vote section? Because that could be the winner right there.
Tua's terrible at
all right.
calling.
It's kind of lame. It's kind of lame, but
put your elbow down, bro. Just fucking goes head first.
Too close to call.
It's too
we're
close
doing
to call.
it. Just put both at 10. 2 on Goff. A and B. 10 A and B. We did it.
Well,
man, I'm looking back. It only looked like Sarah was the one saying that we were crazy putting Kirk. I don't see it.
And Mateo said it too.
Yeah. That's who it was. Wait.
So 2 people.
Cop out.
Anyway, so we'll stick
Mr.
with that.
Unlimited. Oh, I love that.
Dude, did you see his workout video where he's doing like
yeah,
he's sliding on that thing? It's like some new school little workout equipment, and he put out like a hype video of him working out.
What's his name for the?
Everybody was like losing their shit over it. Everyone was like, "Oh, he looks 10 pounds lighter. Big season coming. He could have a bounce back." Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, of course they're gonna do it. I think he's gonna bounce back, but
cowards.
How significant cowards, all in fun, bros. We're split, man. We're split.
Everybody's split. The voting is split. We're split.
I think if Tua played a full season last year, I probably would have had him over Goff. I probably would have. But I just can't. It's not repeatable. I didn't,
Yeah, we'll see. And
hopefully it's not repeatable.
So, number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Joey Burrow. Number 3, Jalen Hurts. Number 4, Josh Allen. 5, Justin Herbert. 6, T-Law. 7, Lamar Jackson. Number 8, Captain Kirk. For the title of the video, where would he rank amongst the top quarterbacks? We got him at 8. 9, Aaron Rodgers, and a split on 10 with Jared Goff and Tua.
I think that's a pretty solid list.
That's it.
The NFL isn't like, it's not like as stacked at quarterback as like, because I mean that is kind of the one thing that they say is like if this league had no good quarterbacks, it'd be screwed, because you don't want to watch a bunch of second string or backup quarterbacks masquerading as starters,
Well, it's like the NFC in general.
We're only like a year, really only a year, maybe 2 removed from like a big time regime change at, like the top tier quarterbacks.
Well,
Rodgers.
Look at that list. Look at the list we put together. How many young guys are on that list?
Yeah, I mean, we're done with Brady, Rodgers, hell,
Big Ben,
Rivers, Roethlisberger, like all those old guys who were kind of in that Tom Ted conversation. Breeze for so long, up until 2020.
Ben,
I think Breeze was there. We're actually not that far removed from 10 years straight of like the same guys in that conversation. Right. It is a really weird I think these kind of lists won't really be as palatable for another year or 2 before we see more from some of these young guys, because I mean we put a guy going into his 3rd year.
Yeah, I can't have Trevor Lawrence at number 6, but I'll let you guys 6
do it.
I'm not saying he won't be.
I can't do that. I think Justin Herbert. I mean, it's possible for T-Law to outbeat him, but I think I would honestly say if the top 6 quarterbacks we have on that list are the only ones I would consider for sure elite or borderline elite quarterbacks.
Well,
I think T-Law has one good end of a season, and then you have Kirk and Rodgers, and I don't know.
Well, and we're here calling Jalen Hurts an elite quarterback after what is this was like his first full season as a starter, right?
Yeah.
We're a little riskier too, but I just
he really played well.
And I told my dad this. I said, I would not pay Lamar Jackson $50 million a year, but I would have paid Jalen Hurts $50 million a year.
But you felt like Jalen Hurts was the team, though. He was the guy that made that team on offense. That's the way I felt.
He had a great year, but it's possible that he comes into next season and he drop. I mean, we've seen it before. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen a quarterback have a really good season just for them to drop off. I don't feel like it will.
Dante Culpepper.
So much talent.
I said on my other show, like, we might have seen the best of Jalen Hurts already.
True.
But
It's possible.
He might just be like about this good the rest of his career. You know,
like,
what I mean?
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Imagine what he's going to do next year. Like, it might just be like, oh, Hurts hit his ceiling, and now he's just going to kind of plateau, and like, that's good. But
it's just how much better can he really be? You know,
right? He might not.
We already have him ranked. What do we have him ranked number 3? We had him ranked number 3.
Well, the only thing he could do better is hold on to the ball in the Super Bowl. That's it.
Yeah, he was trying to run.
Yeah,
gosh darn it.
Them damn running quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks, dude.
They suck.
But he is definitely more of a look down the field, pass first type running quarterback.
Yeah. Well, they do a lot of design runs too. He's not bailing.
And you know, I do got to eat my words a little bit because he did get hurt from running, hurt the shoulder, which was a pretty big hindrance on him, I'm sure. So kind of took him out of his groove with how well he was playing.
Yeah.
I always look at this. If you get a running quarterback, you better get the best out of him in like a six to most 8-year period. Mm-hmm. But then if you get a Justin Herbert, it's like, I mean, he's mobile, right? He's kind of mobile. Mm-hmm. You can think 15 years, right?
Even look at Patrick Mahomes. Like he's a scrambler. He's not a quarterback. He's a quarterback that can run, and he uses it effectively. And like my dad says, you watch him, he's smart.
The same 40 time as Peyton Manning.
If someone's coming at him, he gets down or he gets out of bounds. That's how you need to play. That's how you need to play football if you're going to run around a little bit.
Something about like his acceleration.
Are you talking about Mahomes?
Yeah.
His awareness.
And he's strong.
Awareness.
In a couple years ago in playoffs, he had that one. I think it was playoffs. He had like one insane run where he broke like 3 tackles.
Yeah.
Like that's the difference. Like Peyton Manning isn't going to. None of them are going to do that. He can run for his speed. Absolutely. He can run, take hits. It's like a Donovan McNabb or even a Culpepper kind of. Just big body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of impressive considering how like I said, Peyton Manning and him had the same 40 time. It's
crazy how Addison got worse with the so-called best quarterback in the past 5 years.
Right. I brought that up in one of my videos. Is that Jordan Addison went from Blitnikoff Award winner going to, oh my God, the undisputed number 1 draft pick in 2024, and he cut his yards in half. It's
and then he did get injured. He got injured, which he was playing really well before his injury.
Well, and
I guess they used him. He was played as a outside wide receiver, which he was played as a slot for Pitt.
Well, and when a lot of people say that,
I'm actually more worried about. I would be more worried not of Jordan Addison, but of the quarterback. I mean, you got this elite quarterback in at 1,500 yards, and you get him 800.
But like, I mean, and I'm not a big college football fan, so I need someone to tell me what were his weapons, like what were the other weapons in Pitt.
Only game I saw, he played terrible.
And what were the weapons like with
Caleb Williams played terrible?
Yeah, it was the first game of the year.
Okay. I mean, he still won the Heisman.
I'm just saying, it was the first game of the year. He wasn't looking all that good. It was against the
still trade up for
Notre Dame.
Yeah, when I was watching Mekhi Blackman film,
it's like Herbert. Every time I watch him play, he doesn't play good. Every time I watched Caleb Williams play, he didn't play good.
Williams was kind of underwhelming in a couple games.
Small sample size.
Yeah,
very underwhelming in the game against Utah.
Yep,
where they lost 40-7 or something crazy.
Yeah, like that. And the UCLA game
who's Utah's quarterback?
Exactly.
Let's go, baby. What were you saying, John, earlier?
Who is Utah's quarterback?
No idea.
Should we know?
And I don't really care enough to look it up. There's probably some no name.
Anyway, maybe it was BYU he was thinking of.
We're already hitting the 1 hour 45 minute mark.
He was. I think he was.
Yeah. Were you confusing Utah with BYU?
I was thinking BYU. Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's why I said something.
It seems like something we should
Mormons.
Get.
They're
Mormons.
They're all Mormons. Utah, BYU. They're all Mormons.
Exactly. It's all the same.
Once you've seen a Mormon, you've seen them all.
The WAC 12, Mateo says. The WAC 12. That's pretty funny.
Cam Rising.
Sarah, you just want a hot looking QB.
Quarterback. mean, there's something to it, right? Tom
You don't
Brady's a
like
GOAT
it?
for a reason.
You don't like a QB that looks like handsome Squidward from that episode of SpongeBob?
Handsome Squidward.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that's
I
Kirk,
do.
baby.
Right?
Looks like he was chiseled.
Chiseled by the
He was
football
strapped,
god.
absolutely strapped.
Yeah, dude.
See, okay, here's the fun. Like a lot of people said, like, oh, I expected Kirk Cousins to look more ripped. I thought he looked pretty good on that plane. Like he's got some abs going.
What did he
Dude,
say?
Kirk
Always
is-
that strapped, or
Yeah, like
Yeah,
there's
I was
there's a
always
lot of like
absolutely
Keyshawn
strapped.
Keyshawn Johnson. Hey, another bad take by Keyshawn Johnson. Imagine that. He's
Kirk's
like
a
he doesn't
stallion,
like,
dude.
he doesn't
he
look
had a
right
dad
out
bod.
there.
There is nothing
Yeah.
dad bod about
No.
Kirk Cousins. The guy
No,
is
sir.
he weighs
Let's go,
220 and
Barry.
he's 6'3".
Yeah, dude. Dilf. Come on
Sarah
now.
just wants a hot looking quarterback.
Oh man. Maybe
I don't
one
know,
day.
it's like-
Sarah.
Kirk ain't doing it for you, Sarah.
I think if Kirk Cousins was single, he wouldn't be having a problem.
Huh?
Yeah, he's
I don't
got
think
money.
so.
He's got that. He's got
If
that.
it was Kirk Cousins and us four walking into a bar, I'm thinking
Well,
Kirk's
okay,
getting the
okay,
ladies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
We gotta
do
quit
they know
that.
who Kirk is though? Do they know he has like the biggest finesse in NFL history?
Yeah, dude. Finesse guy. Oh, Sarah's not into it.
I just puked a little.
See, but the nice thing about Kirk is he's a good dude. There's not enough of them out there anymore.
He's a dad. Dude was ripped. I will give him his props.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean Kirk is. I like Kirk in general.
Type of guy who
Like-
just needs some more ketchup. Did you guys see that
Yeah.
video?
Oh,
Yeah,
yep.
ketchup on his burger.
Yeah, it was him and like the whole O line, and they were comparing like
Juicy Lucy's.
from the 5'8" club, Juicy Lucy, and like what's that one place in Minneapolis? They were comparing two burgers.
Matt's.
Yeah, Matt's. They were trying two burgers, and like it was just like clipping.
There you
know,
go, Sarah.
stuff they were saying.
There you go. Look at that
you just hear-
chiseled jaw, man.
Yeah, dude. You just hear Kirk from the back. And
It
he's
is.
just like, "I
It
need some
does
more
look like the
ketchup."
SpongeBob, freaking
Right.
Jack Squidward,
My,
whatever.
my wife.
There you go.
See, Kirk
My
Cousins
wife-
just the Kirk Cousins like for the women who for the older women when you stop looking for the whole bad boy thing, Kirk Cousins is the guy that you want to take home.
This
to
is the
mom.
guy you marry.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's-
he's the
that is
And
guy
have
guy
3
you-
kids with.
He's the guy you take home to mom. You know.
No, I want to hear. Wait, what was the end of the burger story? I want to know the ketchup thing real quick.
Oh, it
he
was just
just
funny.
said I'm out of.
'cause
He
was
just
like-
said I'm out of ketchup, or there's no
Yeah,
more
I need
ketchup.
some
or
more
something like
ketchup.
that.
Yeah, you wanted
like-
more ketchup.
the O linemen are just housing these burgers, and Kirk's like, "Can I get some
I
more?
need more ketchup. I'll go watch it after this.
I'm
It's
not-
pretty
I
good.
don't have
It's funny
ketchup,
because it's a
I give-
Juicy Lucy, so it's not like, oh, it's dry. I need more ketchup.
It's just
He
like a regular
loves it.
burger. It's literally covered in cheese.
He
I
just
put
loves
mustard all
ketchup.
over my burgers, and I don't want it without it. So I don't know. Some
Yeah.
people like ketchup.
Yeah, he was.
No, I
loving
hate.
that.
No, Kirk. That was stupid of Kirk. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I hate Kirk.
I made
Cousins now
this
because he
comment. I don't
wanted
know, was it
ketchup.
on this channel? Yeah, it was on this channel or on this show when I said, Kirk's parking spot's too close to the
Yeah.
building. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Like now that you say that, is kind of annoying. Just knowing it's that close. Kirk Cousins looks like he would be a great insurance salesman or cars. He looks like it. I don't know if he. Actually, he would be. I mean, he
I'd buy a
got.
car from him because the people I bought in cars from in the past have been shysters.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll shoot you straight.
he'll shoot you straight. I mean, he'll get every dime from you for damn sure. But
Mm-hmm.
He'd
I
call
feel
in
like
his
that's-
agent to negotiate.
yeah, I do not want to talk to Kirk Cousins' agents.
As far
I want to
as-
talk to. I was about to say Lamar Jackson.
No, I'm worried what they'll convince me to do if I talk to Kirk Cousins' agents.
Anyway, we've already almost been on for 2 hours. Should we run that?
Your
run
car
that
would have a
giveaway?
no trade clause.
Yeah, my car would have a no trade clause.
You
That'd
can't
be
trade your
annoying.
car in. It's got to
Yeah.
live with you for the rest of your life.
Oh man, it's definitely wouldn't get an extension. That's for damn sure. That
You
car's,
would,
that
you would
car's
definitely
done
get
after
the
1 year.
you would definitely get the extended warranty.
I'd pay.
No.
I'd pay for the warranty without getting it. Yeah.
I feel confident without getting warranty from Kirk, right?
Yeah.
He's a-
yeah.
Kirk
I'd
is the
trust he's-
Toyota Camry
He's an Iron
of
Man.
quarterbacks.
he's
It would
selling
be-
you-
Toyota
he would be the
Camry
Toyota-
of
and that's what I have. I have a Toyota Camry. He is the safe.
if a nuclear war happened
He's
It'd
a
be
safe guy.
cockroaches, Toyota Camrys, and Kirk Cousins still alive.
Still kicking.
Yeah.
That's how reliable he is.
Yeah, and Twinkies. And
And
Twinkies.
Twinkies.
I think
All
Kirk
right. All right.
probably might be
Yeah.
invincible though.
Let's do it.
JJ
Justin
card.
Jefferson card giveaway. Hashtag Skol in the comments. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. All our channels. Everything's in the description. Go to Bite Size Sports. Go find John. I know Gary. Where is it? Gary, John's great addition to the show. Dave crushed it
Thanks,
too.
Gary.
Gary, John has his own show, Bite Size Sports. Go check it out on YouTube as well. And if you're not already, I think you are subscribed to Dave.
You think I'm new to the channel?
Great addition, Dave.
I'm a great addition to the show that I started 32 weeks ago. I appreciate it, man. Subscribe to Minnesota Sports Talk. This show is simulcasted on my channel too.
Skol. Yeah,
Appreciate
go
it.
over there and subscribe
what
to
up,
Dave.
Mafia?
Everybody.
I just saw him.
Yep, Mafia's up here. Purple Gang, let's go.
Yo.
There
John,
he
you're
is.
going to you're going to the game
Home opener?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's gonna. Rap hasn't bought the tickets, but he's good for one.
Awesome. So, I mean, since we bring it up, Skol Fest, home opener, we'll all be there to the game. Already did and subscribed. We'll be there for the game. We're also doing little bar Skol Fest party thing Saturday night. We're still getting total information on exactly where that's going to be, but we should find that out soon. And yeah, anybody in here should definitely show up.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna have
do this
apparently
every year.
we're having a speaker system. You're gonna be able to get on the show, you know.
Live
so
shows, all that good stuff. Probably some giveaways, of course. Lots of beer drinking.
we're giving away Casey's
Down
cat.
on it.
I'm
Yeah.
semi fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Greg's not in here, but he owes me a beer, so I'll see him there for sure. He owes me 2 beers, he said.
Yeah. Oh, a little update for next week. Jamie, I told you, Dave, you did not know this. I will not be here next week. I am heading up north. I got a wedding. I'm in taking the entire week of the 4th off and heading up to the great.
So Johnny, I'm gonna
Northland
ask
up
you to
to
come on
Duluth,
next week.
Minnesota.
So Johnny,
we'll
I'm
figure
gonna
all
ask you
that
to come
stuff
on
out.
next week.
What'd you say, Dave?
I said I'm gonna ask you to come on next week then,
Oh, okay. This show?
if you're available.
Do it.
Yeah, I'll be. I will
Let's
be.
go. Let's go.
Casey's
Back in
easy
the building.
replaceable.
we
We just moved Johnny up 1 square.
just got a deep bench.
Johnny's running the John's getting this spot. He's running the
There it
whole show.
is. That's what it'll look like next week.
This is
And
what
this
it's
guy
called.
over here is gone, or over here.
There we go. That's what it will look like.
That's what it'll look like next week.
You'll get.
I'm
your
always on the
beers
bottom.
Yeah.
I'll be with you guys in spirit, but I won't be watching because it's the first night of my friend's bachelor party, so I'll be probably quite a
Oh,
few
multiple
beers deep.
night party.
Gonna be neck deep in
You're
it.
not gonna make
we're-
them watch this?
We're getting an Airbnb for 3 days. I mean, technically check in Wednesday, leave Friday morning. So, oh yeah, it'll be
We're at Vegas or
no,
like
just
Minnetonka?
up north, up in the North Shore near Duluth there.
There's a North Shore.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
Duluth?
Yeah, come
Oh,
on.
yeah,
man.
that's like 2 harbors.
The famous
Minnesota.
North Shore?
I'm
Yeah,
from South
just up-
Dakota.
Just up north. Come on.
Just up north there, yeah.
My family vacations at a little
No,
cabin
no,
on Lake
no,
Benton.
Casey's getting married, yeah.
I'm at a friend's wedding.
Let's go, Greg. Can't wait.
Hey, we're gonna try to set him up with a certain person at at Skol Fest. I'm trying to arrange it.
I'd have to get yoked before then.
Get
Anybody else
yoked,
might help.
man.
We're getting him yoked. Casey's getting yoked. Starting now. Well, we got
have to
what?
stop
2
eating.
months?
We're gonna raffle off. We're gonna have
yeah.
a raffle. We're gonna raffle off Casey for a date, all expenses paid.
Okay,
To the
hold on.
Sizzler.
Hold up. Just kidding. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Let's run the giveaway.
So I forgot to actually put it up. Some of them are on here.
Hashtag Skol.
Hashtag Skol in the comments. Anybody who's in here, it's going to whoever's in here anyways, so that's all right.
I guess how many are in? Any? 7.
7 entries. 7 entries. Hashtag Skol in the comments. Justin Jefferson rookie card giveaway. Like the video, subscribe to the channels, all that good stuff. I'm going to run this at 9 o'clock 9:01, 9 o'clock. I have to give you a little bit of time. Hashtag Skol. We got 9 entries. Sarah, did you even you try not to win this, Sarah? You're trying to let everyone else win? I haven't seen you put a hashtag Skol in here yet.
After her first comment, somebody said, "Oh, Sarah's here. There goes the card."
Yeah. She's not.
Pretty
She's gonna
accurate.
let you guys get a chance.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
She's on.
Sometimes,
Drive
Gary,
Time.
we take too long to finish a show. Typical Minnesota goodbye.
I
You know?
love that you guys take the time to properly finish a show. Just
Gary must
talking
be a
about
Minnesota.
Kirk Cousins.
Man, you should see
Kirk
some of the
Cousins.
times it's me, Jamie, and Casey just shooting the shit, doing Minnesota goodbye for like an hour after the show.
Yeah,
It happens.
I forgot we're even doing a
Too
show
much.
still.
Yeah.
I went fishing last week, nearly died from the heat. That's funny. Like live in Minnesota and it's like it's always cold and then it gets too hot. You're always complaining.
Dude, I
Yep.
went out on the boat 2 weeks ago and I was about dead. So
Minnesota
hot.
summer.
Yeah,
is
she
kinda
needs to
tough.
win. Her puppy keeps eating them. And she has like half my cards. There. Oh, all right.
There she is.
GG's.
11.
GG,
Okay.
no pun intended.
Watch
For
her-
this
watch
for
her
this one,
freaking
I don't know if
win.
you got in earlier, but you can't have a space. I don't think you can have a space in between the hashtag and the Skol. Right?
Right.
I don't think so. You probably has to
Okay.
be one word,
Yep.
I guess.
Let's toss that in there again if you haven't.
I know
maybe
you
Yeah,
got
did.
it
Skol
earlier.
for life.
Earlier.
If you haven't done it, change it to hashtag Skol. No
I think
space.
earlier he did, but I didn't have it up. Usually it takes in all the hashtag Skol.
Yeah,
even
it'll
if
take
I
him
start
in
it
if he.
late.
Yeah,
but-
he did it before. I see it.
Okay. All right.
done
I'm going
before.
to. Yeah, let's go, Gary. We'll see you there for sure. I knew you would be coming.
Well, actually, that was a different
for
Skol for
yeah.
life. There's two
You know,
Skol for
sometimes I
lives.
would almost just call it orange cone season because you drive by and a lot of people are really.
I know that's another super annoying thing
Yeah.
about Minnesota too. Is then especially
It's like
Duluth. It's like
crushed
Duluth's
rock
always getting.
roads.
Duluth is always
Windshields.
getting constructed on in the
Yeah.
summer.
It's rough.
The lovely Minnesota landscape of of the windmills on the western side.
No, yeah, we don't got none of those in.
Yeah,
No,
driving
no.
to Minneapolis, I'm like driving by all these freaking windmills.
All right, I'm running it.
Run it.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Who we got? Who do we got? I see everyone's name. Let's go. We got boom, boom. Dan.
Dan.
Dan, are you in
Okay.
here?
Oh yeah, that is a big part of it. Oh, he just commented 2 minutes ago. so I'm
Recently,
sure he's
yeah,
here.
10 o'clock he
Yeah.
did.
Dan, I know you're still in here, buddy.
Drop another
You're still
comment
in
just so
here.
we know.
Don't ever
that
go to
you are
Vegas, the
here.
same part of the highway they have worked on for the past 20 years.
Yep, there he is. Dan
There
is in
we
the
are.
building.
Dan, have you won a card before?
I want to say he has, but I could be wrong.
You give away so many cards. It's hard.
I know.
To keep
I
track,
can't keep
man.
track. I need to. Eventually, I'm gonna kind of keep track. But, Dan, if you haven't won a card, either way, hit us up on Twitter, Instagram. Hey, I used to live in Duluth. Hey, that's where me and Casey are out of.
The home of CJ Ham.
Yep, the home of CJ Ham. CJ Ham.
I
Ham.
don't want to hear any of this August.
Not too far from the home of Trey Lance. Or no, he's
He's
Marshall
so-
South.
Marshall, yeah.
yeah, more south, I
yeah.
I
think.
knew some people from
I
Marshall.
Hey,
think
Dan,
I was in Mora.
Go find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whichever one you prefer, and hit us up on there so I can get your mailing address. No, like
All the
all of
info
that
is
is in
in
the
the
description
description.
below as well. So let me know when you're when you got that part taken care of.
Absolutely. But other than that, anybody else got anything before we sign off here? Almost hit two hours. That's impressive. That's a
Yeah.
good stream. That's a good stream.
The funny thing, it literally took over an hour just for the one quarterback thing. At
Mhm.
least an hour. Thanks, have a Facebook. Yeah, hit us up on Facebook, just GG Sports Podcast. You should be able to find it pretty easily, I think. And then just DM me, and then I can get your mailing address and start that right away. From Maplewood, Skol, that's where you're from.
Nice.
John, where are you out of?
This will be the
I'm right in St.
logo you're
Paul.
looking for, by the way,
You're where?
for Facebook.
Sorry.
I'm right in St. Paul. I live
Oh,
like
you are?
3 minutes from where the Wild play.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dang,
Nice.
nice, nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's relatively. I'm in Woodbury, so it's relatively close.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never lived in the cities area.
Yeah, I've always been right in St. Paul.
Dang. Okay.
Have you tried the Nook? Have you been to the Nook?
My claim
No.
to fame.
You have not been to the Nook. The Nook is pretty good.
Dang, my claim to fame lighting up DeMarco Murray in high school football. LL Vegas is more known for baseball. My claim to fame is in when I was in 8th grade, CJ was on a different team than me and I tackled him. So it's like basically pee-wee football or whatever, but hey, that shit counts.
There you go.
I tackled John Vedral. He won an SP for Nebraska.
What's that?
I tackled John Vedral. He won an SP for Nebraska.
Dang, let's go, John. What's your?
And then I what else? I had college English class with Adam Vinatieri, and I helped him run for.
That's wild.
I helped him run for office at Boise State. I have a sign.
You said Adam Vinatieri?
Yeah.
Dang, that's sick.
Yeah.
Mine's just I met Paul Allen at the Apple Valley Holiday.
Just run into him? That's wild.
Yeah, no, I said he gave me nucks. I was like,
I get a picture of Bill Walton.
I was like, hey, Paul, big fan. And he was just like oh, hey, brother, thanks. Skol. And just like was just radio voice. Like he was always
He's like, loose.
Yeah, he was like, how you doing? I'll take 3 of these. And he was like, it was so funny. Crazy.
Jamie got to interview Chuck Foreman.
I pictured him being shorter. He was like, cool.
For in-person meeting. That's pretty much.
I met Joe Mauer at a Carboni's.
Oh,
you guys know Carboni's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You got to interview Judd.
Yeah, Judd. Dude.
That's your big one.
That is
Wabi. We talked to Wabi a couple times.
Yeah, John, you did too, right?
True.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, he's ghosted me.
Just
if he's watching, Wabi, you got to come back.
Wabi, come on, man.
Come on,
ghost
Wabi.
me anymore.
But all right. Anyway, thanks everybody for hopping in again next week.
Casey, Mike Zimmer's girlfriend graduated from Casey's high school.
that is
Is she still his girlfriend? Is it?
I have no idea. But like it's funny because her
check TMZ.
Her sister is actually her sister is a bartender at a bar up in the Duluth area, and her boyfriend or fiance he was at my brother's friend's bachelor. So it's kind of a long-winded thing, but like, yeah. But other than that, I don't have much. I guess I graduated a year before a guy who plays in the NHL, which is kind of.
I am 7 people removed from Kevin Bacon.
Are you?
Yeah.
7 people removed.
Never heard of that. That was a huge thing back 15, 20 years ago. The seven degrees of Kevin Bacon. You never heard of that?
Oh,
you can pick any actor, and you're within 7 movies, you'll have Kevin Bacon. Like it doesn't take long for you to get a Kevin Bacon. So it's a rule of 7 degrees of separation. Like there's someone you've never met in freaking California. Within 7 people, you can find a connection. Never heard of this. Jesus.
No,
I didn't.
Johnny, you heard of this.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
That's true. I want to
7 degrees of separation.
And then they did the Kevin Bacon to rhyme, which is kind of funny.
Well, I know one time my brother met this girl at a bar, and he starts talking to her and stuff, and like she says her last name, and he's just like, okay, yeah, not tonight. And then talk to my grandma. He's like, is this last name like that? It's like, oh yeah, we're related to them. He's like, okay, good choice then.
Damn, that would have been interesting.
One of those random strange encounters, you know.
Also, don't ever meet Flavor Flav. I almost got in a fight with him when I was 16 because he hit on my 16-year-old girlfriend. That's interesting. For some reason,
Flavor Flav.
Look at that big clock right now.
Yeah, dude.
It's 6 degrees. It's 6 degrees. Sarah says.
That's crazy. He never seemed like a piece of
sorry. 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Sarah. You're right. 6 degrees. Well, it's even those are even better odds of being 7 degrees. Sorry, 6 degrees of separation. Sarah's right. I just need Sarah to correct me all the time. Sarah, can you be my Grammarly? Sarah's my Grammarly.
All right,
we're getting more watchers now.
Yeah, what the hell? We're talking about your random shit. But
We're
anyway,
back.
thanks again for hopping in.
All
We
right,
appreciate it. Like I said, next week I will be out, so it sounds like Johnny will be taking my place
Let's
next week.
go. He's in the
Maybe.
spot already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next man up.
Yeah, make sure to hit
Next man
subscribe.
up.
I know Jamie and I had a video just come out. Check that out as well. We have one coming out tomorrow. Either you guys got anything posting up the next couple days?
I think that's it for me.
I'm gonna go copy what Casey and Jamie put out and put it out tomorrow.
Yeah, so go check out Dave's right after ours. Go look at ours first, but then don't forget to go see Dave's and like them both.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hopping in.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
See you
See you next
guys.
time.
Skol Vikes.